Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Ariel Helwani Show!
Back in your life on this Monday, October 21st, 2024. Hello again, everyone. I sure hope you're doing well. And let me tell you, outside, right over here, this city right now is on fire. It is a beautiful day. It's like 28 degrees Celsius. What is that in Fahrenheit? I have no idea. I still haven't made the conversion. I know what 28 is. 76? No idea. 28 is a fantastic, glorious, beautiful day. This city is on fire. Our New York Liberty WNBA champs. Our New York Yankees going to the World Series. Our New York Knicks about to begin their quest to become NBA champions tomorrow in Boston. Our Buffalo Bills rolling. It's a good time to be a New Yorker. It is a good time to be a New Yorker, and I'm so grateful. I'm so thankful. I am so happy. We are officially 1 week in the books. What a week it was for this little outfit known as the Ariel Helwani Show, for this brand new empire known as the Uncrowned Empire. Yes, what a week. We launched a website. We launched a show on Monday, a show on Tuesday, a show on Wednesday, a new show on Thursday, The Boys in the Back, and then a special edition show on Thursday as well. 2 shows on Thursday. Friday, The Crack killed it. Positive vibes. The Crack is all about positivity. I wish I had a fan base like Pizzi's. And then we had Helwani Vision on Saturday for the PFL Battle of the Giants pay-per-view. How fun was that? We had our first pay-per-view on Saturday. We had CLP with us, Tyron Woodley with us, Tim Welch with us, Megan Anderson with us as well. Rob Gronkowski, for some reason, was with us. Jake Paul was with us as well. It was a great time. And it was a fun thing to be a part of, something I had been thinking about for a very long time, to see it come to fruition, to see it all come out crystal clear. Great audio, great sounding, nat sound from the arena. We were here, we were hanging out, we were reacting. And then we did a post-show with 3Pac. We had the 3Pac reunion as well. Yeah, know yourself. We are rolling. We are rolling. On October 21st, 2024, we are rolling. And if you go back to episode 1, you go back to our first show a week ago, things are looking different. Things are improving. And I do really have to give a special thank you to the entire crew in the control room. They know who they are, but also to the entire team here at Yahoo. That's why I wanted to come here. Brilliant people, hardworking people. They are not settling. They are not saying, this is what it is. No, we are getting better each and every time out. And in 3 months, it will be exponentially better. But all that is for a later date. We are here to talk some fighting, some mixed martial arts, and other forms of fighting as well, coming off a huge weekend and heading in to a huge weekend. Oh, by the way, we got Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday this week as well. We've got Thursday, Boys in the Back, Friday, The Crack, and then we debut our first watch party of the new era, UFC 308, going down in the afternoon here in America, 2 p.m. Eastern start time for the main card. Of course, the big one, Ilia Topuria defending his featherweight title against Max Holloway. Some have said it's the best fight on paper of 2024. There's certainly a lot of excitement. 2 supremely popular fighters going toe-to-toe. And as of right now, as of 1:03 p.m. Eastern on a Monday, Khamzat Chimaev is still scheduled to fight Robert Whittaker, in addition to all the great fights on the card. So we'll have a watch party on Saturday, followed by a post-fight show, another one for you. Please continue to sub. Thumbs up to the chat, thumbs up to the chat, thumbs up to the chat. Hope everyone is doing well. And over on the podcast feeds as well, rate, comment, review, all these things go a long way. Trust me. All right, so what are we doing on today's program? Of course, we have to talk about what transpired on Saturday in Riyadh, Saudi Arabia. The big story, of course, Francis Ngannou, le Prédateur, returns to action, and he just blitzes Renan Ferreira. Yeah, he landed a leg kick, but afterwards, Francis pulling out the wrestling out of the bag of tricks. How about Francis showing up the wrestling, looking like a young Cain Velasquez out there, looking like a young Daniel Cormier out there, and then it was just ground and pound, very impressive. 3:32 of the first round. The man, the emotion afterwards was tough to watch. You can't help but feel for him. You can't help but be happy for him. You can't help but want to just hug the guy because of everything he's been through, everything he's had to endure and overcome. It's. I don't want to say it's one of the best stories because when we're talking about his story, there's an unfathomable, unspeakable tragedy attached to it, the passing of his son, Kobe. But he continues to be this story that we can't get enough of and continue to be inspired by, continue to be blown away by. And I am happy for the man. He has had to deal with a lot. And I'm not even talking about just this year, and just what happened in the last few months is more than anyone should have to deal with, especially a parent. But what he has had to overcome and continues to thrive in the midst of, nothing short of amazing. So we'll talk about Francis, of course, and all the other results on the card. And our first guest of the day will, in fact, be Francis Ngannou. At 1:30, we'll be joined by Le Predateur from over in Riyadh. He is still there. Now, at 2 o'clock, we're going to be joined by big news, Paul Hughes. What about this guy, this young man from Derry, right? This guy who's representing the tricolor. He signs with PFL, and everyone's like, all right, we hear you, PT Carroll. He's great. You keep saying this about all the Irish talent. He was fighting over in Cage Warriors. It was great. It was fantastic. But there are levels. And, he didn't sign with the UFC. He was looking for the easier fights. He was looking for a way out. Oh, really? All right, well, the Bellator debut in June at the Tree Arena maybe wasn't the greatest fight of all time in terms of the performance from Paul. He took some shots. It was a little bit tough in the first round. It wasn't the biggest name opponent. But what did he do on Saturday to AJ McKee, who's one of the best young talents and still not even 30 years old in the world, former Bellator featherweight champion? He put it on him. He was seconds away from stopping him in the first round. The game plan was fantastic. He was timing the knees. I thought he won that fight. I don't understand how one judge gave it to AJ McKee, but nevertheless, here he is. He has arrived. The gamble, the big contract has paid off. And afterwards, he cut a mean promo on Usman Nurmagomedov, on everyone out there. We're going to find out. Does he want to go into the tournament in 2025, or does he want that title fight against Usman? Man, as he said, Ireland versus Dagestan 2 would be big, big business. And he even extended the invitation to one Conor McGregor to join him in his corner. So let's see. After that interview, we'll go to Colombia, where Craig Jones is, the very colorful and entertaining character from the world of jiu-jitsu. He put on his first ever event, the CJI tournament in Las Vegas in August. We were on hiatus at the time, but by all accounts, it was a huge success. They generated a lot of money for charity, and he continues to be in the news. There was some big news pertaining to his world and his feud with ADCC last week, and he's teasing some announcement today on this show. So stay tuned. 2:30, Craig Jones will join us. Merab Dvalishvili, the relatively new UFC men's bantamweight champion, will join us at 3 o'clock. He is in the United Arab Emirates right now. He is over there, of course, for 308, and what a life he has had over the past month since beating Sugar Sean O'Malley at the Sphere, Noche UFC. That was a huge win, obviously, in his life, UFC 306. His first time on the show since winning the belt, first time getting a chance to talk to him. And so we'll get his thoughts on all of that, plus the news that Umar Nurmagomedov may fight Song Yadong, all that and more coming at 3. And then Fluffy Hernandez, Anthony Hernandez, who had a huge win on Saturday in his first main event against Michel Pereira, who has been looking quite good as of late over at the Apex. A dominant win for the man they call Fluffy. Now has won 6 in a row and slowly but surely climbing the rankings at 185 pounds. You'll recall on the MMA Hour back in February, we spoke to Anthony, first time on the program. Fascinating guy, loves his chickens, wants to live on a farm, wants to build a barn for him and his 4 kids and his wife. Doesn't care about the limelight, the fame, the notoriety, just wants to live in solitude and be left alone. But for now, he is winning. He is racking up bonuses and paydays and could be very much in the mix come 2025. So that's today's story. A lot going on as always. But, on Saturday, I did Helwani Vision. I was talking a lot. I did the post show. I have essentially told you all that I could tell you about what Francis did, about Chris Cyborg's win over Larissa Pacheco, now winning her 5th major title. She has won an Invicta belt, a PFL belt. That was on Saturday. A Bellator belt, a Strikeforce belt. She is an unbelievable talent. I might be forgetting one. Invicta, PFL, UFC, of course, UFC. So she has done something that no one has ever done before. That's 5 major titles from 5 different promotions. She is a living legend, and tough fight. She was cut open. Pacheco didn't go away, but she was the rightful winner. Francis, by the way, becoming the, in many respects, first ever true lineal MMA heavyweight champion. You can make a strong case that the UFC, Bellator, PFL, Pride, Strikeforce heavyweight titles were all on the line on Saturday, which is a crazy distinction that I think should have been promoted more in the buildup to this fight. But nevertheless, that's a huge deal. Paul Hughes, I told you about. Johnny Eblin successfully retained his title against Fabian Edwards. I spoke a lot about the post-show, which happened immediately afterwards. The lights were down. It was dark outside. Up right now on our brand new YouTube page. But I didn't get a chance to talk to GC and Rick, so I want to get their thoughts on what transpired. Boys in the back here with us on a Monday afternoon. And shout out to the New York Liberty for their very first WNBA championship. GC repping them. So let's go to you first, GC. Your thoughts on what transpired on Saturday. And I don't mean Helwani vision and the smashing success that it was, you sitting in on-air Jordan's seat, who has still not returned. I don't know, where is he ever coming back on-air?
I was going to say, actually, I'm still sitting in on-air Jordan.
Oh, wow.
This is just, I'm renting this space out right now until I have to go back there and do his job for him.
Fair enough. All right, so
it's tough.
It is tough. Yeah, double duty. Didn't sign up for this. Your thoughts on the scene on Saturday, Francis winning in 3:32 against Renan Ferreira?
Yeah, I mean, it was unbelievable. Dominant performance. I think Renan Ferreira had maybe one moment, if you would even call it that, with the leg kick, and then it was all Francis Ngannou the rest of the way. Dominant performance, gets it done, shows all the emotion. I don't know how you can't be happy for him after the year that he's had, the life that he has had, and he continues to just win, continues to find success. You guys summed it up perfectly. I mean, there's really not much more I can add other than I'm unbelievably happy for the guy and just in awe at what he continues to do time after time that he's put to the test.
EJ?
It's hard because in one part, like, it was an expected result, right? Like, if you say Francis Ngannou is fighting Renan Ferreira and you go back a few years or even to the last time we saw him in MMA, you go, yeah, of course he is. He's going to destroy him. But considering the circumstances that he was up against, the personal tragedy, the fact that he had been brutally knocked out by Anthony Joshua, the fact that we had not seen him compete in MMA for several years now, it seemed like if ever there was a time for Francis Ngannou to be ripe for the taking, for him to be vulnerable, it was now, right? And we could see the emotion after the fight. Clearly, he had been struggling with things and battling his own emotions leading into it. If ever there was an opportunity for somebody to find him in that position, for him to be vulnerable, it was now. But I can't say I was like shocked, right? I can't say it was unexpected, because if you tell me that Francis is going to put him on the ground and throw hammers like that, like, that's kind of the outcome that you expect. I don't know if he's going to have much down there, and it's not like Renan Ferreira, once it hits the mat, is some juggernaut. But considering the stakes, considering the circumstances, considering what he had to overcome, and I said this on Boys in the Back, but like every time there's an opportunity for Francis to overcome something, every time there is a roadblock, every time there is an obstacle in his way, even just getting to France and then becoming a top-level mixed martial artist, like all these things, he was not supposed to be here. Every time there's an obstacle in front of Francis Ngannou, he tends to steamroll it, he tends to smash through it. So it's almost like one of those things where you have to expect Francis Ngannou to reach to rise to the occasion and hit the level required for the moment. And we saw it again. Everything stacked up against him. Francis Ngannou continues to get it done, but not shocking from a X's and O's perspective. If Francis Ngannou has anybody on planet Earth in that position and they're turtled up, it's probably a wrap. It's pretty much night-night because he's throwing the hardest possible shots that you can take. So impressed, and it was more of an emotional thing from my reaction than like more of a fight thing. It was more just, man, my heart is with this man and what he was overcoming there, and I'm glad to see him have some success.
I understand what you're saying. I will push back a little bit and say there's a little sort of Monday morning quarterbacking going on there for this reason. There was so much at play here. There was so much going on in his life. First of all, when you just consider how he looked after his last loss, which was the Stipe fight, he came back and looked like a shell of himself against Derek Lewis. And so there was a part of me wondering, like, all right, is the same thing going to happen here? Because now he's coming off a knockout loss to Anthony Joshua. You change as a human being. You change as a fighter when you're 30-something years old. I think it's 37, and you're getting knocked out. And so, A, there was a question to be answered there. How would he just look coming back after being knocked out? B, how would he look coming back after 2 boxing matches? We've seen MMA fighters go to boxing, they come back, they don't quite look the same. So would his style change? Would he be rusty with his wrestling? Now, the note that he had not fought since January of 2022 in MMA, the layoff, was a little bit unfair because the guy, I mean, that was his 3rd fight in 365 days. He was kind of averaging a fight a year prior to all of this. So he was active and he was doing stuff. But still, I wanted to know, would he be comfortable in the cage with the gloves, using his wrestling? And we saw him be an offensive wrestler this time as opposed to a defensive wrestler against Ciryl Gane. So that was another question that I was wondering about. Obviously, what transpired with his son, Kobe, that changes you as a human being. And even afterwards, he said, everyone told me I was tough. I'm not tough. And I learned that I'm not tough. And I question if I wanted to do this again. I question if I had it in me. I question if I ever wanted to come back, forget this year, ever again, period. And that has nothing. That was something people were saying after the Joshua fight, that he was done, that he was finished, that he'll never look the same, that he made this massive mistake. He should have taken the Fury fight, ran with it, gone back to MMA and fought, PFL heavyweights. And so then he gets brutally knocked out again. Like I said on Saturday, I was there. He was on the mat, out, cold. It was scary. This gigantic human being, just a plank, not moving. And so curious to see how he rebounded from that. And that was even before what happened to his son. And then there he is, back in Riyadh, the same place where he got knocked out against Ferreira, who obviously hasn't fought anyone as good as him. But some are putting him, 10, 11 in the heavyweight division. I don't think that's a crazy thought. He starched his last 4 opponents. There was a lot at stake here. And according to my friends at BetMGM, Ngannou opened as a minus 345. He closed as a minus 225. So there was starting to be this sentiment, even after the weigh-ins on Friday. Oh, Ngannou's too emotional. He's trying to rile him up because he's doubting himself. Ferreira, by the way, plus 260, closed plus 180. 76% of the bets on Renan, 80% of the money on Renan to win as well. So there was a sentiment building, and maybe people were trying to convince themselves that something was happening, that an upset could have, he's about to screw it all up. I was sensing it. I mean, I was getting people saying, I can't wait to see your reaction to him getting knocked out by Renan Ferreira on Saturday. And look what he did. Like, it wasn't even, there was a part of me that thought if they get by a round and a half or 2 rounds, this is going to be a 5-round stinker. As I said on Saturday, y'all must have forgot, he's still the baddest man on the planet. He's the lineal MMA heavyweight champion of the world. He's still the king of the heavyweights as far as MMA is concerned. And now what it does is it puts a lot of pressure on Jones and Stipe to keep pace with him. We will get to a point one day where Tom Aspinall may be that guy. He is not quite there just yet because of the fact that he hasn't beat John or he hasn't beat Francis, but he's literally right there. And I consider his belt to be more real than John's. But right now there's this little dance going on with the 3 of them. And if you want to include Stipe, the 4 of them, the man whose resume actually holds up compared to all of them, and that includes Stipe, who everyone said for the longest time was the greatest heavyweight champion of the world. I think there's now a very, 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 very strong case for Francis. Yes, Stipe beat him, but what happened in the rematch? And what has Francis been doing since? I think that there's a strong case to be made now that Francis is the greatest of all time. I think that there's a very, very strong case of that. But the question then becomes, what do you do with him now? If you're a PFL, what do you do with this guy now? Is he going to go back to boxing? I don't want him to go back to boxing. We'll talk to him about this in about 10 minutes' time. Is he going to stick around in MMA? Who is there for him to fight? Now that we've had a couple of days to digest it, Rick, what do you think? Who does he fight? Who is out there that they can get? And let's be fair, when they signed him, Renan Ferreira wasn't a guy. Like we weren't talking about. We were talking about Phil DeFries. We were talking about Derek Lewis maybe leaving the UFC. So he emerged, and I think he was a very fine, credible opponent. He looked the part. It was great. It was as good as they could hope, given the lack of heavyweight talent out there, especially outside of the UFC. But is there anyone right now, if they tell you, yeah, the plan is for him to come back in March, I doubt it, but let's just say, for the sake of this conversation, is there anything that excites you as far as what's available for Francis?
Not in MMA. Not in MMA.
In boxing, there's more?
In boxing, there's more because it's more unknown. You can only get by, again, I'm not, from an X's and O's perspective, if you pick any point in time, including last Saturday in 2024, and you match up Francis Ngannou and Renan Ferreira, Francis Ngannou is going to win that fight. Now, we needed to see it play out because of all the circumstances that you outlined, right? Because of the fact that there was so much stacked against Francis. And that was what he was overcoming. But none of when we're talking about this is, well, Renan was actually a nightmare for him, and he was going to... There's no point in time where he's going to be the one to beat him. What would be an interesting conversation is if John Jones was standing across from him on Saturday night, or Tom Aspinall was standing across from him on Saturday night, or even Stipe Miocic was standing across from him on Saturday night. What does that look like? Does he overcome those obstacles, and does he face that? So you can only do that once. Renan Ferreira was the perfect opponent because of all those circumstances stacked up against Francis. But on paper, we're not looking at that and going like this opponent was the one that was going to potentially threaten him or be dangerous. And so you can only do that one time. We only get one of those. Now we know Francis is back. Now we know he was able to overcome, and you need a credible opponent. You need somebody who, when you look at the paper, you go, this person can defeat Francis Ngannou. I don't see anybody out there in MMA that is available that could make that interesting for me. It would need to be a boxing match just because I've seen Francis succeed there and I've seen Francis fail there. I'm more compelled by that. In MMA, I know that whoever they have that is available to them, he will walk through them. I'm not scared that he will be threatened, and that's uninteresting to me.
I threw out Deontay Wilder not because I kind of want to see it. I don't even know if I do. He's just the most interesting guy out there who I think they can make a fight with, who I think would be down. But
is this for MMA or boxing?
Honestly, it was for MMA.
Yeah, no interest in MMA.
Zero?
That fight will go exactly the same way the fight on Saturday went.
Is Wilder even going to do MMA?
If
it was something they were,
question.
It was something that they were debating. But no, you're right. The thing is, like, I don't, and you're right, Rick. Renan Ferreira has a black belt, right? Like, so the fact that Francis took him down, thwarted a triangle choke attempt, and was just completely unfazed by it. What is Deontay going to do?
He's going to get double-legged and punched in the head the exact same way.
What does that calf kick do to
Deontay
Wilder right off the rip?
Great call.
So what do you do? What do you do, GC?
I mean, I'm kind of with Rick. Like, the star power and the allure of the matchups is in boxing, because outside of the UFC, who can you put Francis Ngannou against and make it an interesting matchup? Like, it's like Renan Ferreira was the guy in PFL. Like, that, this was the best they had to offer. Like, who are you going to put him against now? Denis Goltsov? Like, Ante Dalia? Like, it's going to end up in the exact same result. He's going to be a much bigger favorite, and it's going to be the same thing of, who is this guy? Who is Francis Ngannou's opponent? So, yeah, there's just not a ton of options within MMA that are available to him. Like you said, it's kind of like the big three right now. John Jones, Tom Aspinall, Francis Ngannou. But are we ever going to see any of them fight each other? So, yeah, I guess it's just boxing, even though I would like to continue to see him fight in MMA.
I don't know who's out there. The thing is, he has evolved so nicely as an MMA fighter, and I know this was his first fight in almost 3 years, but, I mean, imagine telling someone 5 years ago that Francis would shoot and would look like that on the ground.
To get his last 2 wins in MMA, he went to the wrestling.
Yes.
I was going to say, go back to the Cyril Gane fight. Like, that dude isn't out of his depths when it comes to that. And if he can put people in that position, it's going to be rough. I mean, we saw those hammers. Like, as I said before, I don't think there's somebody on earth, if Francis Ngannou has you in that turtle position, that you're getting out of there. That's just at the end.
This is a stupid one, but I happened to look down at the YouTube chat.
Thumbs up to the chat.
Yeah. Yo, can you imagine Francis versus Rico Verhoeven? Like, could we is that...
Yeah, I mean...
Is that stupid?
I'd be compelled by that. I just don't know if Glory wants their
I was going to say, like,
champion
where are they
going
doing
over.
this? Just on the PFL brand?
I don't know. I mean, I'm just trying to find something interesting out there for him.
It's not the worst idea as a striking matchup. Like,
I was going to say, is there a world where Ngannou just blasts another double leg and takes him down?
No, maybe it's just kickboxing.
I was going to say, but then that's a Glory fight, right? Now you're getting into the realm where PFL is now lending Francis Ngannou to both boxing and kickboxing, and not to
What if it's Rico versus Francis, MMA versus kickboxing in boxing? so it's equal footing.
Funny, I like it.
It's equal footing.
I like it, but we're just getting we are twisting ourselves into knots to come up with a solution for why can we not find an MMA
I'd rather
fighter
just see
to
him
fight
box
Francis.
Deontay Wilder at that point.
Yeah, me too.
Do you have any interest in Vadim Nemkov?
No.
No.
Not because, by the way, not
But
because
that's actually not a bad shout for like the best you can make with the circumstances.
That's the best that they can make, meaning the PFL, Bellator
Yeah,
universe.
that's what I'm saying. Like I that is a nice shout in terms of like if he's going to fight again in MMA in under the PFL banner, Vadim Nemkov, isn't a terrible.
Vadim Nemkov is 17-2 and 1 no contest. He has won his last 3 in a row. There was the no contest against Corey Anderson. His last fight was a solid submission win over Bruno Capoloza at heavyweight. Prior to that, he was fighting at light heavyweight. He has history prior to all of this fighting at heavyweight back in the day, fought in Ryzen, lost to Yuri Prochaska in Ryzen as well, beat Goran Reljic. I mean, it's
two things on that.
that might be the guy. I don't know.
One thing,
Yeah.
I'm not interested, not because I don't think Vadim Nemkov is very good. I actually think he's very, very good. But he's been a light heavyweight, right? Now he's moving up to heavyweight. That's a different kind of thing. And two, Francis Ngannou has a finite number of MMA fights. I think we need something more compelling before we go to that well.
Is there any chance the allure is I mean, I know they've talked about starting up this PFL Africa branch. He's the chairman of it. Is there any chance that they do a fight in Africa and that's the allure of his next fight?
Fuck yeah, I would love that.
Just Francis in
Francis
Africa.
coming home.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We got the picture right over here of Foreman and Ali.
But you could box. You could box in Africa too.
I mean, that would be sick. That would be sick. That alone is, to me, worth the price of whatever they're offering. You know, PT, if he was here, would be upset that we're not bringing up Phil DeFries, the KSW.
A little KSW champ versus PFL champ?
But I just...
What? The fights are not there. It's just
Yeah.
the reality. The fights are not there. Francis Ngannou on his own is a draw. You need to find somebody. Again, I think this worked. This was the perfect storm. This worked for the one time, and I don't think it will work again. You need somebody credible opposite Francis Ngannou.
The truth is, he probably is going... And we're going to hopefully talk to him in 3 minutes, so keep it locked. The truth is, he probably takes some time off. Again, that's 3 fights in 365 days. That's 2 boxing matches against the very, very best in the world, like 2 top 5 boxers at the time, 2 top 3 boxers, right? Fury was the heavyweight champ. AJ was, on a roll. And then there's another fight.
Jump to the front.
Yes. Oh, I heard you there, Rick.
Oh.
Okay.
Bad mic integrity there.
No, listen. These things happen. So I wouldn't be surprised if he takes a little bit of time off, and maybe that's a blessing, right? That will allow them to find new talent. I will be honest, gun to my head right now, I don't even know who's fighting in the heavyweight. It all kind of mixes together. PFL 2024. Is there even? Gosh, I mean, do you know the answer to this? Is this even on here? PFL 10. Is it PFL 10? I think it's PFL 10.
Who, me?
Yeah. Heavyweight. Okay. I mean, this might be our answer right here, guys. This might be our answer. It might be the winner of GC. Do you know the answer to this? I don't even know if I can go to him. No. Denis Goltsov, who has won his last 3 in a row, including a TKO win over Timothy Johnson. Prior to that, a TKO win over Thiago Santos. Prior to that, a TKO win over Linton Vassell. Going up against Oleg Popov, 32 years old, has won a shitload of fights in a row, like 17 in a row. Beat Linton Vassell back in August, beat Davion Franklin, beat Steve Mowry, which was, notable. Beat Antonio Silva back at MMA Series 53 in June of 2022 in Moscow. Those are the guys fighting for the heavyweight championship for 2024 in the PFL. We did get this from Marshall Zelaznik, the CEO of Glory Kickboxing. He's apparently watching us right now. Hello, Marshall. How are you? Doing great things. Has been in the fight game for quite some time. This is his response to us talking about Francis versus Rico. Frank, some breaking news. Thank you. I mean, this is the show of record. People are tuning in to get our thoughts on all sorts of things. Quote, anytime we can have the best versus the best, we'd be interested in having that conversation. Rico is the best heavyweight striker on the planet, and a fight with Francis would be fascinating. Did we just make Rico versus Francis? Did we just make that?
Who the fuck is we?
I wasn't even teeing you up for that. That was good stuff, Francis. Excuse me, Frank.
Wow. Wow. I'll take it, considering he's the GOAT.
Yeah, he is the GOAT. He is the man. Did you have a good time on Saturday, Frank?
The best time. It was my pay-per-view debut.
Wow.
I don't know if you know that.
Yes.
Came home to my beautiful wife, and I was like, oh, what'd you think of the pay-per-view? She didn't buy it.
No, listen.
Yeah, it's fine.
Listen, she watches all our shows more than anyone else's significant
Yeah, like she's
other.
probably crying right now hearing me
That
air
you
this out
even
in front of
brought this
everyone.
up. She's going to feel guilty.
All it is, her first pay-per-view, I'm not buying it.
No, listen. What was it? 40-something bucks?
Yeah. Worth every penny, though, because our production was so on it.
Oh, my God. You know what was my favorite part of the whole thing, by the way?
The Gronk interview.
No, other than that.
Watching Francis totally...
No, other than that.
Okay, dude, seriously.
It was how you made the sound mesh with us here.
Oh, yeah, you like that, huh?
Oh, my God, it was fantastic.
Yeah, I really enjoyed doing that. In fact, it was kind of cool. The control room kept just giving me positive affirmations. I never get anything out of these guys except for, it sounds like shit, Frank, fix it. And this time they were like, oh, man, that is really good.
Is that true?
That is absolutely, and they kept doing it. So
They
then
kept giving you props.
to the point, like, I'm insecure enough where I'm like, look, if you give the same affirmation more than twice, you start to undo it. Like, it gets into the sarcasm category, right?
Stop. No, you did great because it sounded... Are you familiar with Manning Cast?
Oh, yeah. Who's Manning?
Yeah, so it sounded like that, where it was you had the sound of the arena, the oohing, the awing, the clap, the horn, all that stuff, the walkout music, but we were there reacting to it all. If you had to rank our best guest in terms of like the insight that they brought, who would you say was number one? No, don't answer that. Don't answer that. Oh, okay.
I mean, Chael. I mean, Megan.
Thero?
Gronk. Thero was awesome. Did you see Thero mocking Chael the entire time?
Yes, I did see that. Yes, I did.
I thought that was adorable.
I thought Chael was like one mock away from slapping him in the face.
Wow.
No?
Yeah, I mean, no, he just seemed so used to it. Like, I have a feeling when Thero was off camera, he was doing the same thing.
They are two peas.
Would you let your kids do that?
Mock me for that long?
Yeah, and is it really mocking, or is he like trying to learn the techniques? Like,
It seemed like some mocking.
Okay. Yeah.
Of course I would let my kids. They could do whatever they want. My kids had 6 soccer games this weekend. It was quite the time.
Oh, damn.
Yeah, so they could do what they want. No, Chael was great. Everyone was great. And no, I really, really enjoyed it. So we will talk to Paul Hughes, who had the massive win over AJ McKee on Saturday as well, the opening fight of the night, which I like that spot. I like the way they started the card. There was that fight with Hussein and Zafar that I'm still not quite sure how they ended up on the pay-per-view main card, but it was fine. It was a massive, massive, massive upset, at least as far as the odds makers were concerned, but not as far as Tim Welch was concerned, because Tim Welch told us right before the fight started that he had looked at the tape, he had done his research, and he felt like the odds makers had it all wrong. He felt like they were saying no. Like I think GC told me. What did he tell me? He told me, yeah, Hussein closed at a minus 2,500. Zafar was a plus 1,200, and Zafar won. So if anyone out there tried to get in on the action, I hope you bet on Zafar. I did get a text, by the way, from Juliana Pena, the reigning defending UFC women's bantamweight champion. And
I've heard of her.
Yeah, she asked why we never used her pick of Francis for the parlays. She was a little bit perturbed. I did have to push back and say, well, when did you send in?
Yeah, there was definitely a deadline
said
that
pick?
last week. Yeah. What did she say in response to that?
She said Friday, to which I said, yeah, listen, you missed the deadline.
Yeah, we didn't even do it because she wasn't there.
We didn't do
like,
it. We scrapped it.
She has also become a producer now.
Yeah,
Like,
and
if she doesn't do it, we're not going to do it.
To which I then said, if you don't get it in by... she's like, oh, there's too many new dates and schedules and shows. I said, look, you got to get it in by Wednesday night.
That's easy.
It's
yeah.
actually not that much different than it
More
used to be.
time than we gave her in the past.
Right. And then she said, okay, we'll do. So let's see. Let's see if she abides this week.
She's a champ now, and all of a sudden, we're the afterthought.
Right. UFC 308 this weekend. But of course, we're still buzzing. We're still glowing. We're still in a state of wonder and just enjoy for our guy Francis Ngannou after what he did on Saturday. A lot of emotion. But if you ask me, it was never in doubt. Y'all must have forgot. Still the baddest man on the planet. Still the lineal MMA heavyweight champion. Still the true BMF. Le Prédateur himself, the pride of Cameroon, kind enough to join us back in Saudi Arabia. I think back in the same spot that he was in just last week when he talked to us going into the fight. Right, Francis? Félicitations, Francis. Thank you so much.
Merci, Ariel. Yes, I'm back in the same spot. Like, earlier I even thought about like changing the angle so you can see a different spot of the hotel. Then I think there was a table here that was like a little short. I said, let's just do it.
No, it's great. It's familiar. It's great. Can I ask you, the guy who was sitting there a week ago, 7 days ago at exactly this time, 8:30 local time in Riyadh, you say things, you talk about the fight. You're never going to truly tell someone how they feel before a fight of this magnitude. But can you now tell us truly, like, what was going on in your mind? Were you doubting yourself? I saw afterwards you were saying, I thought I was tough. I'm not as tough as I thought I was. I had to overcome a lot. Were there any doubts creeping into your mind as you were heading into this massive fight?
Well, I mean, when I talk about toughness, I wasn't making reference about like fighting. Actually, fighting doesn't make us that tough. I think it was just about like life in general, because, sometimes you feel the emotion differently, things that you didn't know that you could have. You find yourself in a place that you didn't know you can ever be there. And that's what I was referring to. And also like, yes, I was here 1 week ago, but it wasn't about a doubt. It was more so about like, like me questioning about myself. Like, at the end of the day, a fight is a fight, and it can always go either way. And I knew I was prepared enough in case I have the opportunity. But again, you never know what truly will happen in the fight. So it wasn't like a doubt, but although I was about like to really discover like questioning about how I'm gonna feel there in that cage. Stepping the foot inside, knowing that it's no longer the same. It's no longer the same person anymore.
48 hours later, physically, but maybe even more so emotionally, are you exhausted? How are you dealing with everything, all the emotion that came with the fight and the aftermath?
Well, yeah, I'm exhausted. I'm tired. Physically, I'm good. I mean, no worse than I was before the fight. But yeah, I'm tired, like unlike what you might think, the emotion aspect takes a lot out of you too. Mm.
Did you expect to be that emotional afterwards? Did you even think about how you would react?
It wasn't just afterward. I think it's been a long process.
Yeah.
It's been a long process. It's not just like, sometime even during the training camp, you just feel it. And then you feel like life is just tasteless, And then you feel this sadness, and whether you might be in your room or wherever, you just feel it, and it's there. You can control it. Like it is. It is what is it. And I think you just have to figure out how to deal with, to move on, or to live with.
Literally seconds after the fight was over, everything came out, all the emotion. Can you even describe what that moment felt like? Like you didn't even really give yourself a chance to celebrate. I even noticed Eric Nixick coming to you, and I think you told him like you needed a second. Can you even describe what those feelings were like?
Yeah, I took this fight again like I didn't know if I was going to fight, but the reason why I took this fight, I think it would be a better way to honor my son, and all along the process, even when he was tough, I always think of the reason why I took the fight and why I'm fighting. And let me tell you what, it's been the toughest one. It's been the toughest fight for me. Like, to get there, I was trapped into this zone that I had to really, really struggle to get out of it, to get to that fight, to be able to fight. He was tough. He was really tough. He wasn't just like a normal fight that I used to fight, that you just walk there and go fight and whatever happened. He was beyond fighting. He was beyond way more than fighting.
Where did you find the motivation, Francis, like to get out of bed, to keep going to the gym, to put your body through, the ringer, so to speak? How did you, again, if you're flying high and life is great, I'm sure it's easy to do that. But dealing with this sadness and the broken heart that you were and are dealing with, how did you find the power and strength to get out of bed and keep going back to the gym in preparation?
Well, just I think you just have to remember the reason why you're doing it. And I think like this time around, I haven't have the better motivation, the better reason that I never had before for this fight. The purpose, the reason why I was fighting was, for me, was bigger than anything that I have ever fight for.
How was it on Saturday in the locker room as you were preparing, from two fronts? A, just the feelings, the nerves, but also compared to how you were feeling in the locker room before the AJ fight, when you told us about how you were feeling lethargic. Can you compare this time? Was it better?
Yeah, I mean, it was a normal fight. It was a normal locker room day. I was there, and although was trying to deal with my emotion, because even the fight day, the day before, the gathering that we had here at the hotel before the fight, everything was ending up into emotion and stuff, yeah. So kind of like make things different, right? But besides that, kind of like check on myself, and everything was quite okay. Everything was okay. I was even asked about that, and also been checking. It was just me, except like maybe that emotion. It wasn't nothing like abnormal, but also like some question like, oh, well, I haven't been here for so long, so it's not. I mean, it's still familiar, but at the same time, little strange, little. Yeah, like little far away. Like the last time I was here was a long time ago, but other than that, everything was good. Everything squared up well. We get there on time, had time for everything, and the organization was great. Everything, the commission was perfect. The production, everything was on point.
There was a somewhat surreal shot when they went to you in the locker room, and it was you, Cristiano Ronaldo, and Eric Nixick just chilling in the locker room. What do you recall talking to him about? Like, that's one of the most famous athletes on the planet. And I know you have a relationship with him, but in that moment, is he saying anything to you? Are you talking about anything?
Yeah, he also deal with similar situation with a newborn that he lost a little while ago. So he was quite busy, but for him, he said he needed to come to show me his support, because he understands what I'm going through, even though the situation is a little different. He didn't really know his own kid, but it's still the same, and the feeling is not great at all. Like he knows what he takes. I mean, all personal stuff. It was more personal stuff.
Okay. The fight starts. By the way, I was wondering, did it feel, you've done MMA for so long, but after two boxing matches, smaller gloves, and I know you prepare with smaller gloves, but you're there barefoot. It's a little different. You're in a cage. Did that feel funky in the first few seconds, being back in an MMA setting as opposed to the two boxing matches that you just had?
Uh, no, the little thing that I felt different is the same thing that I used to feel. Sometimes I just feel the canvas is a little slippery. Like that's why I have to like wet my feet in the corner before, uh, like you feel like there are no really traction between your foot and the canvas when you step in most of the time. And I always feel that. So it wasn't funky. It wasn't nothing strange. It was just a normal feeling. I mean, and at that time, you're not there thinking about those stuff. You have really, you have different things in your mind going on in your mind that you're not thinking. You don't have so much time to think about it.
Was the game plan to try to take him down so early?
Well, so early, no. Whenever the opportunity comes, he was a plan because like even though he has a good ground game, what I do know for sure is that he has a what yeah he does have a good wrestling, a great wrestling at least. So if we get on the ground, I'm the one on top. I will manage, and I will give him a rough time, And also like one thing that was part of the takedown was the timing. He has his right hand, which is like almost automatic. So you just need to press the trigger to let that right hand go and then have a good timing to do whatever you do that can be efficient, whether it's a punch or a takedown. And as soon as I found him back in the cage, trapped on the cage, I knew that right hand was coming, he was doing. And then there was a big opportunity. I think the opportunity was him laying on the cage, letting himself back up to the cage.
The finish was brutal. There's a camera angle that someone was shooting right there of you just nailing repeated shots. And in retrospect, I thought maybe it could have been stopped a little bit sooner. Are you thinking about this at all? Like, how much more is this guy going to have to take?
I thought about that.
Yeah.
I thought about that, but the referee was right there. And I'm like, well, as much as I wanted to win the fight, I didn't want to throw unnecessary punch. I didn't want to do unnecessary damage. I just wanted to win my fight and go home. But the referee was there and I was hitting. I'm like, I think maybe this when they stop. But but I don't have to stop. I don't want to stop to figure out to act, so I just keep pounding. But I think like a couple, at least 4 to 5 punches was unnecessary.
Mm-hmm.
If it was me, we would have stopped earlier.
I wondered if you had to dig deep, like if maybe you took out the frustrations of the past few months because it felt so ferocious. But maybe that's just how it looks when you're that close to Francis Ngannou hitting you with punches in that position.
No. It wasn't like the frustration. It was a fight. I was there fighting. I wasn't going there to hurt with the intention of hurting somebody or to doing that. It was mostly like to fight against my demons, to fight against me, to face my challenge, to keep going. And then, but in order to do that, I have to make sure that I'm doing everything that I can. I'm doing well, So that was the thing. And then I really like work on the position, on the ground position to the point that before really start the strike, I have a great position. I know that, okay, I have a good leverage here. He's not going anywhere. So I was very comfortable to strike.
Now that it's over, Francis, do you want to keep fighting?
I think so. Along the way, I thought I took this fight so early. I thought maybe it wasn't time for me yet to start fight, but the question is that like when would be the time? And I feel like the right time will never be there. I think it's just something that you have to roll with because I don't think if we wait for years, 2 years, 5 years from now, I don't really think like things will be different. So then therefore I will not be having time to fight again. Maybe the only thing that I will have will be regret But I rather regret from like fighting, even though he doesn't go from like not fighting than fighting, even though fighting doesn't go well. So yes, it wasn't about like winning or losing. I could have lost and decide to keep fighting because again, it's just the reason why I'm fighting, and also like do what I had the opportunity and don't have to regret later.
So the big debate is, if you do come back in 2025, is it MMA or boxing? And if it's MMA against you, if it's boxing against you. So could I ask, do you have a preference, or are you leaning in a certain direction? Do you think your next fight, whenever it is, will be in MMA or will it be in boxing?
It could be either one. I don't know yet. I don't have a hand on that one. I don't have a decision. I think it's also depend on like promotion. It depends. I don't know if like next PFL they come up with something or with a fight that or date. Maybe we will work on it. Then if it's boxing, same thing.
Okay, so you don't have a preference.
No, I don't really have a preference, as long as I just think it's gonna be into next year.
Okay.
Year.
Do you think
I'll take some time off.
Yeah, deserved. Do you think first half of the year back? When do you think will be a suitable time to start thinking about fighting again?
I don't know, maybe second half of the year.
Yeah.
No, first half, second quarter.
Second quarter, got it. Yeah.
Yeah.
I threw out
Second
Deontay
quarter.
Wilder maybe would be a name if you do boxing, or even if you do MMA against him. That was discussed, I think, for a minute. But I don't know if there's any MMA names that are big enough and interesting enough for you right now.
Yeah, I mean, in PFL, I don't know. They still do have some name. I think the last guy that beat Renan Ferreira was Ante Delayer, and he's still there.
Okay. So these names interest you?
He was a backup in this fight, so why not?
Oh, wow.
If needed.
Did he weigh in?
I think so. He was a backup, yes.
Okay. All right. So there's stuff out there that is of interest. You are going to fight. You say it's going to be in the second quarter. So there's stuff here. There's things that are available. And if you are going to keep fighting, like, is it fair to say at some point you will have another boxing match again? You will not stop boxing. There has to be.
Absolutely. As I always say, like maybe I'm taking taking more time to do stuff, but absolutely I want to do some boxing match again and some MMA matches.
Did you happen to see John Jones tweeted about your victory? Did you happen to see that?
Yeah, I saw that. I saw his tweet.
Okay, we'll show it. What did you think of it? Here it is. What an amazing job Francis did tonight. Displayed a complete MMA game. Great kicks, great takedowns. It feels good to see him shine. Wow, congratulations, champ. I see you.
Yeah. Well, whatever it means, I think it's class. He said in a very nice way, so I see him too. And I'll be watching him on November 16th.
That's the one, man. That's the one that everyone says. Why not? They're both with ESPN. Maybe Turkey has a hand in it. Do you think there's any chance this happens in 2025, you versus the winner of that fight or the UFC heavyweight champion?
There's a chance. I can't tell on the level of 1 to 10, I can't tell how many, but I know there's a chance. I mean, basically, like, I know that fight also interests Turkey, and no many things resisted him.
Yes. Did you speak to him about it after the fight?
No.
Okay.
No, I don't.
He's probably the one who can make it happen.
Yes.
What was that you said?
Yeah, I think it. No, I said I haven't really done anything or speak to anybody after the fight. I was just here with my family, and they were leaving, and trying to get some rest between like saying goodbye to people, my family, my team.
Someone did then, I think, write to John another thing about your fight. Did you see the follow-up tweet?
No.
I think here it is. He says, this guy Nick says he'd smoke you, meaning you'd smoke him. And then John writes, sure, everyone beats me up until they're in there with me.
Yeah, that's true. Everyone has to believe. Everyone that fought him has believed. Everyone that stepped in the octagon believed that he's going to beat his opponent. I mean, even Renan Ferreira, he beaten me up until we step in the octagon. So it's always like that. I don't think that has nothing that wasn't directed to me. Again, I know John Jones. I think that was also a very class in that response.
Okay. Wow.
Because he did. No, because he didn't sound like he was mad. He was just like factual.
Mm-hmm. That's fair. Do you believe, Francis, that he actually is interested in this fight, or do you think that
John?
Yeah.
I do believe. I know regardless of what the game that being played out there, I know the truth. I have been behind the scenes so many times, so I know exactly what happened. So I do believe that he wants that fight. I mean, again, like even though Jones doesn't stand an idea of losing, but he's going home. Like he's like, okay, let's do the last dance. If this is this, I mean, I think he does. I can't tell for sure, but I believe.
Did you see your friend Israel Adesanya? There's a video of him watching you fight. Did you see the emotion that he showed and how happy he was for you?
Yeah.
It's beautiful, right?
Yeah. It's beautiful. Now that I thought about it, I watch it. I'm like, damn, what were you doing, Francis?
What do you mean?
I mean, no, not the fight, like the overall thing, like after the emotion or the stuff. But it was good. It was good. A lot of people say they get emotion too.
It's hard to stop it, right? There was so much going on in your mind. Are you saying because it's hard to see yourself crying, you don't like to see yourself sad like that or emotional like that?
To believe that you're a man, that you can cry, you don't do that, stuff like that, until you get truly hit. I mean, I would have never believed if somebody have told me this like a year ago. I would tell him that no, you're wrong, like completely, like you're talking to the wrong person.
What was it like when you got to the locker room and you were there with your family and your friends?
Well, because it wasn't the first time we have been together for maybe the whole week. So, and I always like imagine that moment, during the past 3-4 months, the past 3 months mostly, I have been thinking of that moment, what's gonna happen, where at every stage I visualized everything, like in the octagon, we're gonna walk like this, like trying to visualize everything, like so. He wasn't like a hit on the face, like a surprise.
Mm. By the way, one thing that Izzy said, which I actually agree with, it's time to start talking about you as the greatest heavyweight of all time. The resume stacks up to Stipe, who previously everyone said was the greatest. Do you think that that's a fair thing to say now? Are you comfortable with this? Now, I think you're going to tell me, oh, it's not for me to say that, but come on, if you look at the resume now, there's a very strong case to be made.
As far as I'm concerned, I think I have something to fight for than like the best heavyweight or whatever it is that would just truly doesn't mean that much. I'm just here to do my best, man. Like to give the best of myself, and whoever is the great or at the end of the day, it's okay. But I think I'm not doing bad.
Yeah, I agree with that. And I know you say you're not quite sure when you'll fight again, but I did hear from the PFL brass, and they're saying PFL Africa will launch in 2025. And that was a big thing for you, right? To sign with the PFL so that you could start something like this. Is there anything you could tell us about the PFL Africa plans, like when it will actually start, when we will actually see the product, and which parts of Africa will be featured?
We were talking about it even today. The PFL Africa is launching the second quarter next year, most likely April next year, 2025, as you have always been the goal. And then we were talking about the location, which could potentially be, we spoke about like what, 4 locations, which was Nigeria, no, 5 locations. Nigeria, Rwanda, Cameroon, Ivory Coast, and South Africa.
Wow. Okay.
It hasn't been decided yet, but we're just like trying to line up the first countries to host. Eventually, we're gonna keep moving into different countries.
By the way, before it's all said and done, we have to see you fight in Africa. Wouldn't that be incredible? What a scene that would be, right? The giant comes home. This has to happen. Is this being discussed? Is this part of the plans?
Unfortunately, no. PFL Africa is a different entity than the global PFL, and then regardless, it's still like it's still a young promotion. So yeah, it's still a young promotion. I don't know. Maybe we will see. Maybe someday, maybe we will work on a last dance. Maybe 3 years from now or 4 years from now, that could be 3 years from now, it could be a conversation to be made. Then why not?
That would be incredible. Now, do you want to just go away? Do you want to be left alone? Do you want to just be out of the limelight for a few months?
Yeah, I think I'll just stay around and just hang out.
Just chill a little bit.
Yeah, just chill.
Well, you deserve it.
Trying to deal with my stuff. Trying to put some little order in my life, in myself. Structure thing, and then trying to figure out the best real roads to continue rolling.
By the way, also I'm trying on your behalf. I'm trying to think, okay, who's out there that could be big, interesting challenge? I threw out Rico Verhoeven, who's the kickboxing champion. Wouldn't that be something like Rico versus Francis, kickboxing versus MMA in boxing? And I hear that Glory is interested in this. You know who he is, right?
Yeah, of course.
That'd be something, right?
I mean, I have trained with him.
Oh, okay. So you're friends? So no chance?
No friend. I mean, we met once at the gym. I think we are friends, but not to the extent that we cannot fight each other. We're a gym friend.
Okay. Can I work on this? Do you want me to work on it, or should I leave it alone? What do you think?
Send me a deal.
All right. All right. I'll work on that, and I'll get back to you, Francis. For now, enjoy the victory, my friend. So happy for you. Did you see? I was on with Jake Paul on Saturday. We did a broadcast. We were going crazy. Did you see that clip?
I saw some clip. I saw some clip yesterday.
I was swearing. I shouldn't. I'm not very professional in that moment, but I was too happy for you. It was the emotion. It was coming out. I'm sorry if that offended someone, but it was nice.
Well,
it was
it's
nice.
Good. You were on the show. You weren't on the TV, so it's okay.
All right, fair enough. Thank you so much, Francis. So happy for you. So happy for your family. Well done. You did it again. Every time people question you, every time they doubt you, every time they say it's too much, you continue to prove us otherwise. It's really an honor.
And and you know what? Like, and then I saw that this time around, and I was like, this looks very familiar. It looks like a situation that I previewed in. Like, I don't know. come out in the situation that when I'm the least expected.
Yes, you
So
did it again.
I thought this about a fight, but then I'm like, now that you're thinking man about it, it might not work that way. But here we go. You work out this time too.
Yes. Like the great Roy Jones once said, y'all must have forgot. You did it again, Francis. You did it again, my friend. Enjoy, and thank you as always for coming on. It's always a pleasure and an honor to talk to you, and to cover your career is one of the great honors. So thank you so much, my friend.
Thank you, Ariel. Thank you for everything, and thanks to all the fans listening.
All right, we'll talk to you soon. There he is, Le Prédateur, Francis Ngannou. What a guy, what an inspiration, what a legend. Back on top, the baddest man on the planet, the lineal MMA heavyweight champion. He did it again. He did it again. All right, so that was big news, but how about big news himself? Kicks off the pay-per-view on Saturday, biggest fight of his career. They said it was a little bit too much. He was biting off more than he can chew. The featherweight champion, the former featherweight champion of Bellator, moving up to 155, undefeated at 155. All right, Bobby King, great. Well done. But it ain't AJ McKee. And what happens this close to stopping him in the first round and then en route to a fight that I thought was very easy to score? One judge disagreed, but who cares? He's well on his way. 2 in a row now in the new PFL Bellator era of his life. He is big news, Paul Hughes, and he is kind enough to join us right now. There he is, Paul Hughes in the house. Congratulations, my friend. Biggest night, biggest fight, biggest win of your career, 48 hours later. Has it sunk in yet?
I don't think it's quite sunk in, to be honest. Usually it takes me like a good night or two sleep for it to sink in. I'm still like kind of high on adrenaline, so I'm not quite there. I'm still kind of in a haze, but yeah, it feels good, bro. It feels good.
That's a good kind of haze. That's the haze I bet you dream of as a fighter. I was talking to your manager, Tim Simpson, yesterday as we were trying to find you to confirm your presence on today's show. And he's like, the Irish love to party. They like a drink or two. And in Riyadh, you can't have a drink. So perhaps a couple of drinks were had once you left.
Couple of full-fat Cokes in Riyadh, that was it. High on sugar, just. I'm actually in Dubai here at the minute, so I'll have a couple of pints over the next couple of days, I'm sure, to make up for it.
Love it. So let's go back to when this was announced, because I saw the comments from Dan Hardy, who said when he initially heard that this was the plan, all right, yeah, I love it, but is it a little too soon for Paul? We got him in the tournament coming up. Maybe let's get him a nice win, 2-0, go into the tournament. Was this something you pushed for? Was it something they brought to your attention? Initially, how did it all come about?
This is the AJ fight, yeah?
Yeah.
Sorry, I thought you mentioned the season there. I got confused. Yeah, it came about. It was just a random text, Ariel, from Mike Hogan himself to see if I was available. Obviously, this pay-per-view was coming up and they needed to get big names on there and big fights. I was available. I was, of course, telling everybody, yourself included on your show in New York, that I wanted to fight the best guys. And AJ was available, so that was the fight that they presented to us. Of course, that's exactly what we wanted, so it was a no-brainer to sign that, and I think it paid off well.
Did you feel like obviously you're confident, obviously you believe in yourself, that's very clear. And I wouldn't suggest it was one-sided because it was a hard-fought victory, and I know you were close to stopping him in the first. But in terms of your belief, your confidence heading into the fight, especially as you got closer, as you were there in Riyadh, did you have a strong sense that this would be a good night at the office for you?
Yes and no. I'm always confident in my abilities. I'm always confident that I can just fight my heart out. I didn't have the best camp, and I'm not gonna lie, that added to the nerves. It added to the pressure. Usually, you can out-train nerves and pressure in some regard, but I didn't have the best camp and I couldn't out-train that at times. So when it got to fight week, I definitely felt the pressure. Now, I am very good at flipping the switch when it gets to that, I guess, last 5 days when you're over and you're doing the thing. I'm always confident that when the cage door closes, regardless of what has happened in the build-up, you put me in against anyone at my weight in the world, I'm confident that I win that fight every time. Like, I genuinely have that confidence and belief in myself. I believe just in my instincts. I believe in my fighting instincts to win fights. So when it got then to fight day, it was just like, no, remember who you are. You're the man. You called for this. Time to prove it.
What was wrong with this training camp? What happened?
I'll not get into specifics. I'll not get into specifics, to be honest, Ariel.
Okay. But can I ask, was it like injury stuff or was it personal stuff?
Both.
Okay.
Unfortunately.
Okay.
As to why I don't want to get into it, But look, it happens to us all. We must, as I talked about with my team after, like, this truly is what separates the best, is being able to perform on nights of adversity and not perform when you're not at 100% and still pull it out of the bag and still go in there, biggest step up of my career, and and smash it out of the park.
Just curious, last thing on this, to the point where you thought you might not fight?
Nah, I was always going to fight.
Okay. And luckily for you, you did, because what a performance. And you know what I loved, especially early on, and we saw it throughout the fight, you clearly did your homework, because it seemed like you were timing that knee time and again. Like it was, you almost got him a couple times. You saw that beforehand as you were planning.
Ariel, I had a full YouTube episode scheduled, edited, ready to post for my post-fight interview. I was ready to say, I knocked him out with the right knee. Everybody go look at my YouTube right now, because I've just posted a video breaking down exactly how I'm going to knock him out. Unfortunately, I didn't get the knockout with it, but as you're playing the clips there, oh my God, it got so close so many times. Now, I did catch him with it, with the flying knee, which whenever I dropped him straight after that, but there was one knee in that first round, Ariel, that would have killed him. It just zoomed past his face, and I remember being in the cage and going, oh, that was so close. Like, I just felt it whiz past, but look, I got close. As I said to you about my fighting instincts, I really, really trusted myself and my instincts, and yeah, I was able to find every single shot that we looked for, to be honest.
How much more time do you think you needed in the first?
I think he was done.
You think so?
I think he was holding on. I just broke the grip of his hands, and I was just about to posture and start landing the strikes. He was done. It was 100% done. His eyes rolled to the back of his head. He still wasn't right coming out in the next round. Like, so, should have got him out of there. Should have got him out of there.
Your thoughts when you hear one judge scored it for him in that moment?
That's madness. Like, it's madness. I don't even know where to begin there. I mean, sure, we see this every single weekend in MMA with, like, it's no different. There's no point in me starting this big whole shenanigans. It is what it is. MMA judging just, unfortunately, is just not incredible,
But does your heart sink in that moment? I mean, it's all happening fast. They're reading the scorecards, but like, I couldn't believe it.
Well, look, the energy of everyone I was talking to, people were congratulating my coaches. They were congratulating me. So I was like, oh, I've clearly won this. Like, I mean, there's no question here. And then I heard the split, and I thought they were going to, when I heard the split, I looked down at the color of my gloves, and it gave me like a flashback to whenever I fought Jordan Vucenic the first time, and they robbed me of that. And I remember looking at the gloves, seeing red, and they said, in the blue corner. And I thought it was happening again.
Oh, no.
But thankfully it didn't.
You were fired up. I loved it. Like, even before you got a chance to actually speak into the microphone, we could hear you through the camera. You were so fired up. What was the feeling in that moment? What were the emotions? Why were you so amped? Why were you so excited? The victory is big, but like, it felt like you just couldn't wait to get stuff off your chest.
Yeah, I mean, look, I guess it was a bit of release from the camp. As mentioned, wasn't the best. Definitely was not the best. I mean, I was gassed after the first round. I mean, we can get into that after, but I was completely gassed, and I never get tired. It was a release of emotion, and then also a realization you've done it. Like, you've shocked the world. Like, I do remember waking up on fight day and going, you're fighting AJ McKee tonight. Holy shit. Like, this is massive. This is massive. And then it was just that moment was like, you have done it. Everything that you've said in this build-up, everything that you've said this week has happened. You're going to shock the world. And then, yeah, that's what I done. So it felt good, man. It felt good. It feels like I've almost made it,
When you say almost made it, why do you say almost?
Oh, well, I mean, I'm only starting, I'm only starting. obviously very big fights on the horizon there. But in terms of made it on the world stage, this is the first one for me on the big stage.
Difference in terms of how you felt leading up to the debut in Dublin as opposed to this one?
Definitely a higher magnitude fight, higher pressure in all facets. And then, as mentioned, the camp, it was definitely a different build-up,
The reason I asked that is because I would imagine your debut major promotion very close to home would bring maybe even more anxiety, more pressure, but you felt like this one was greater.
This was definitely greater, and it was the caliber of the opponent, the size of the card, the production, everything behind it, and a Francis Ngannou pay-per-view, and with my fight, it probably was one of the most hyped of the night. So yeah, look, out of pressure, but I delivered.
You mentioned gassed after the first round. Why?
Because the cut was not ideal. Just wasn't. I don't get tired. Like, I'm always the fittest guy in the room. And yes, albeit the end of the first round was intense and it was hard scrambles, almost knocked him out. Like, it was intense, but I remember standing up for the second round and going, "Oh my God, you're so tired." And I remember just looking, and AJ McKee's in front of me, and I'm going, "I have to fight him for another 2 rounds." And then I was like, "Well, fuck it. Dig down, let's go."
Have you ever felt like that before?
Only once, and it was actually the same fight I mentioned earlier, the Vucenic first fight. That was the only time I felt like that.
So what did you do?
For similar reasons. Sorry to cut you off. For similar reasons.
So what do you do? Like, you have 10 more minutes against this guy, supreme athlete. Where do you find the strength? And look that good. I mean, the boxing was phenomenal.
It just years and years of hard work. You can just deep killer instinct and fighting ability. Like, I just have that dog in me. I really just do. I can rely on that, and it can get me through these fights if all else fails. And that's what got me through it. It was still a high enough pace fight. Yes, I got some moments where I was able to get my rests whenever AJ was shooting on me and putting that wrestling pressure, but I'm also very, very good at recovering when I can in fights. I just had to dig deep, Ariel. It was just, it was hard. It was hard. Like, I have a very good game face. Nobody really noticed, but I tell you what, I had to dig deep.
How bad was the cut, like, compared to your previous ones?
The actual last bit of the cut usually is always around the same, because I am very disciplined when it comes. I am very disciplined when it comes to all of that. It's more so how I entered fight week. Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's more how I entered into the week, where I felt really the detriment.
By the way,
But here, look, I don't want to play too much into this. It is what it is.
No, I get it. But
there's fighters happens all the time, like.
For sure. No, but I mean, you won, so it's not like you're making excuses after a loss. But it's always interesting to know what you had to overcome and get through to get to the victory. I'm just curious, the experience fighting in Riyadh. What was that like for you? First time? Have you ever been there before? I know it's first time fighting there, but ever been there prior?
Never been there before. Had a great experience. We did our initial face-offs the first night on the Wednesday. We went to some old castle where I think Saudi was formed by the Saud family, and that area was incredible, like properly mind-blowing. So that was probably the highlight of the trip for me. Other than that, it's more so media obligations the whole time. You're not really out and about. Right. So it was a very good experience. The arena was fantastic. Just the whole production, the press conference, everything they done was absolutely top tier. We were treated so well throughout the week. So fantastic experience all around.
I was discussing with Tim, also debating with your friend and the man who is, I think, the unofficial president of the Paul Hughes fan club, Pete Carroll, who's been talking about you for years and years. What a story he wrote on you and your journey on our new website, uncrown.com. And shout out to Claire Hughes. My daughter's name is Claire, but with the I. I've never seen it spelt that way. C-L-A-R-E. Your mother, of course. She seems like a lovely lady.
Oh, she's a saint, and she's 100% watching this right now. So Hello, Mom.
Hello, Claire. Beautiful name. I love it. That's my daughter's name. It's a wonderful name, and I love the whole story. Really, PT did a phenomenal job, and he's done a phenomenal job covering you over the years. So shout out to him for that.
Shout out to PT. What a guy. And here, I also did mention congratulations on the new platform. This is all fantastic. And getting all the guys on with you, all your mates. That's something I find that I really, really look at something like that and find inspiration, because that's the kind of values and principles I like to go with in my life, is bringing people along with you. So I really like what you've done there. I think that's incredible. It just is a testament to your character as well. So congratulations on this entire whole new platform.
Thanks so much. I appreciate that. The reason I brought that up was there's an interesting, and it's a good dilemma, but there's an interesting dilemma in front of you now, because I understand the tournament's great and there's a massive pot at the end of that rainbow, but you seem very fired up about fighting Usman Nurmagomedov, and you laid it out perfectly. Ireland versus Dagestan 2, there's the offer to Conor to come in your corner, all that stuff. Like, you can't script a better story if you're the PFL or Bellator. And so right now, 2 days later, what are you leaning towards? And can you get both done? Is it possible to get that fight and then go into the tournament? What are we thinking?
I mean, I definitely wouldn't rule either of them out. I mean, I definitely wouldn't rule the season out as well. I mean, that would be fantastic to go get a Bellator belt and then go to get a PFL belt. That would be quite something. I mean, as you know, as I talked to you about whenever I was on your show live in New York, I didn't tell you about it.
You hinted at it. Yes.
I was referring to Usman. I've wanted to fight him for some time. I always knew when I was coming into this organization that would be a huge fight. And he, of course, was the champion. And look, I mean, to me, it's completely a no-brainer. I mean, to do that in Dubai or in Belfast is one of the biggest fights that the entire PFL Bellator can do. I mean, already see the traction that it's doing online. It's going to be a huge fight. Like,
so if you had to pick between one or the other, if you had to pick either, all right, you got to commit to the tournament, or you're going for this title fight against Usman, what are you leaning towards?
Honestly, I mean, I think I'm in an all right position after that performance with AJ. I could do both. Like,
okay,
if I could, I could maybe do both. Like, it depends what PFL Bellator want to do with me, of course. The Usman's fight's massive. At the end of the day, who in the right mind doesn't want to make that fight right now after what happened Saturday night, after what is happening on social media? So I guess we'll just have to see.
Do you know if the brass is interested in this? Did they say anything to you afterwards?
I'm not too sure. I'm not too sure exactly what people want. I just know what I want next. Look, as I said there, I'm here for the big fights. I'm here for the high pressure. I'm here to put it on entertaining fights, which I hope I did on Saturday. And I'm here to make money. So we'll see what happens.
Any word from him or his team? Do you know if he's interested? Do you know if he saw what you did on Saturday or said?
I don't know if there's anything being directly from Usman. I know that he was watching and he said that he'll fight the winner. On pre-fight, I know that Khabib had reshared a video of myself yesterday coming out of the cage, on the way to the presser, talking about, or basically calling Usman out, and he shared it and tagged Usman saying, I guess something like, "You've got someone next," or okay. I don't know the Russian, but it was just an Instagram translation. It was like, "He's next, let's go," or something. So I mean, looks pretty clear to me that that's going down.
That would be incredible. And you think Conor in your corner would be a possibility? Is there an arena big enough for all these characters?
I mean, could you imagine it?
Oh my God.
It would be incredible. I mean, you would need 200 extra security guards on that. 100%. But I mean, could you imagine Ireland versus Dagestan #2? That's a great fight as well. It's not just because it's Ireland versus Dagestan and you've got the whole history. It's a damn good fight. It's two guys in their prime going at it.
Yeah, and of course, there's the tweet right there. Can I read it for a moment? Because Conor did respond to your quote. Paul, my man. Paul, my man, I will go to the arena and support 100% for sure. And if it kicks off, I'll be in there before you could even say the Nurmagomedovs are blank, 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 blank. Your team and corner have done a tremendous job with you. They will take you all the way. You've got this. We are with you, brother. Bring home the gold. That's got to feel incredible.
Yeah, I mean, look, as I've said many times, sorry, I adjusted my screen badly. As I've said many times, this guy he's the greatest to ever do it. He always will be my fellow countryman. It always feels incredible whenever these sorts of interactions happen, because of course he was such an inspiration for me to continue in this game and to reach new heights. So yeah, if we can get him in the corner, that would be incredible.
He's not quite as famous as Conor McGregor, but getting close. You met Cristiano Ronaldo on Saturday. And I loved your post about meeting him. Just like, yeah, and to top it all off, here I am with Cristiano Ronaldo. What was that like?
Yeah, that was very, very cool, bro. I was a big United fan as a kid, so grew up watching Ronaldo. To just spend a minute, or not even a minute, but just to get a photo and to meet him is it's incredible. It's absolutely incredible. It was a nice cherry on top for sure.
Yeah,
there's something funny on that because he came into the arena during the first round of my fight, and at the stage of the fight, I was on top of AJ in like half guard, but we had just scrambled, like big ground and pound, scramble, like and we ended up in half guard for a second, and then I thought I started hearing all these boos, and I was like, "Are people booing me because I'm not striking them? I mean, I just got here. I worked so hard to get here." Then I was like, "Frig sake, I'm gonna need to find some posture and start elbowing them here." And then after the fight, I found out everyone was shouting "Sue!"
That's amazing.
in the arena. And I was like, oh my God, thank God.
That's hilarious because I was doing a watch along with Tyron Woodley in that moment, and we too were noting, and we're like, booze already? This seems a little bit much. I'm glad that the Saudi fans aren't as crazy as some of the American fans who start booing when it goes to the ground after 4 seconds. That is, I also noticed, and you referenced this in the post-fight press conference, I think, was there someone saying like some kind of chant that is Irish? You said it also in the interview, like I don't want to do it and butcher it, but someone was saying something like a chant or something that you responded to?
It was Free From Desire. It's just a song, like a soccer chant.
Oh, I know that song. Free From Desire. Na, 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 na. But there wasn't like a oh or something like that someone was doing to you?
Not that I heard.
Oh, okay.
That was nice. We note you hit there.
I know. I was trying not to do it, but I know there was something that you said. It was some sort of like, you said it in the cage on the microphone, and you were like, "Oh, I heard that guy who kept saying it." Whoever you are.
Yeah, that's funny. Anybody that was fighting in these shows would have heard this guy a million times. I think he was on Chris Cyborg's team.
Okay.
And anything I was doing all week, like whether it was a weigh-in, whether it was a photo, whether she just answered a question, he would just go, "Oh,
okay."
Oh. He just shouted the whole time. And I answered a question in the press conference, and then they went to AJ. He answered a question, and your man just went, "Let's go, AJ." Oh. And I was like, who the fuck is that guy? Where is he? And then after I won, then my corner all just started screaming at me when I was
okay. Now it makes sense. Yeah. All right. I thought it was an Irish thing, but apparently not. Okay. Now it makes sense. Are you in the UAE? Are you going to UFC this weekend?
Yeah.
Okay. As a spectator, as a fan.
Spectator.
Okay. Just to show them what they could have had, right? Just to be like, you could have been in the big news business.
Like, I mean, I'm going down to enjoy the fights. I'm heading down with Tim, who you're talking to, and Dan, because obviously they manage Max. So the boys have sorted me out, and they're going to go down and enjoy a great night of fights.
Amazing. It's always fun to go to a fight, I would imagine, after you just had your own big fight, you win, and now you could just sit back and chill and enjoy the show, right?
Yeah, I can't wait for it, just to literally be a fan, have a couple of pints, and to just enjoy high-level MMA,
Incredible. Well, you are a part of that fraternity now. Incredible win, incredible performance. Well done. And I can't wait to see. What do you think, by the way? Last thing, what do you think? How do you think this plays out in 2025? You think the Usman fight happens and then you go tournament?
I hope so, but it's got to be Usman next. Like I've heard that it could be very early next year, the date. So, I mean, that would allow me to potentially do both. As mentioned, it's whatever they want to do. I'm just here for the big fights. I'm here to make money and hopefully keep delivering, you know.
And that would be okay if they say January, February, something like that. You'd be okay with a turnaround like that?
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, not to, I know we need to go, but I'm really not that satisfied from the other night. And it's not because, yes, I got the job done, but I'm not that satisfied because I didn't go in there at 100%. And I know that if I wasn't so gassed, I would have made it look way better. So I'm not satisfied in that regard because I need to right that wrong, and I need to get back in there against someone like Usman and just really, really put in a better performance and to just blow it out of the water this time. No questions asked. Like, get the finish and again show like I'm the real deal.
I personally think you have done that already, but I love the challenge that you give to yourself, and I like that you're not settling and you're not happy with what you did. Well done, though. Congratulations, biggest fight, biggest stage, biggest opponent, and you came out flying colors. So congratulations. Enjoy your time over there, and thank you for joining us, Paul. Really appreciate it.
Shit, Ariel, always a pleasure and an honor, and you know yourself.
Yeah, you know yourself. Big news, Paul Hughes with a big win. Yeah, I love it. I love it. What a freaking big win for him. And what a performance on Saturday as well. What a performance against AJ McKee. That was incredible. And really, if you go back to the closing sequences of the first round, that close to stopping AJ. That close. Now, we move along. Still to come, by the way, Merab Dvalishvili and the man who won the UFC main event this past weekend, Anthony Hernandez. But up next, you know, we were on our hiatus. We were in Europe, Olympics, this, that, and the other. We missed out on a couple big things. We talked about them leading up, but we didn't get to pay it off. We didn't get to react. And so when I was putting together the list of people that we needed to catch up with, Craig Jones was at the very top of the list. In fact, I had told you around a week ago that he was going to be on the show Wednesday, but he had to reschedule, and we'll get into why he had to reschedule. For now, though, CJI1 has come and gone, and there's all kinds of news in the aftermath. Let us speak to Big Craig Jones and see how it all went down. He is kind enough to join us from, what is this, a cave or something? Where are you right now, Craig?
I'm in hiding in Colombia right now. The after party continues.
Okay, you are literally, is this a real background? Is this actual like rock behind you, or is this fake?
Yeah, it's in my Airbnb. Strangely, it's built into some mountain somewhere.
Wow.
Colombia, interesting, obviously.
Yeah, why are you in Colombia?
Honestly, just for the tourism, you know, get in touch with the local culture, the Colombian women, sampling some of the marching powder, I would say.
Sure. And how long have you been there?
Oh, 4 weeks. Feels like a lifetime, though, the damage I've done to my body out here.
Yeah. I saw that, were you with Luke Rockhold in Colombia?
Yes. Luke came down here for his 40th birthday.
Wow.
So bastard still looks phenomenal. So I'm trying to mess up his lifestyle so we can adjust how he looks a little bit.
Yes, it seemed like quite the bash.
It was a photo shoot, you know, with some young models, I would say. This was actually straight after CJI. But something, and I don't know if you can see in the picture, lured us back to Colombia only a short 4 weeks later.
I'm not sure. What is that? What are you referring to?
I would say the company, great company, even though we don't really connect on the language.
Sure.
Yeah.
Is his hand in your pants there? What's going on?
Yeah, it is. It is in my pants. I don't know. I think that's something that from the Turkish oil wrestling that's really stuck with us here.
Okay. So last week I said, and we'll get to CJI and the news and all that stuff, but could I ask, and tell me, you know, I don't want to get you in trouble. By the way, I do love the hillbilly look that you've got going on here. You look like Hillbilly Jim from back in the day with the overalls, no shirt under. This is a nice look. Does this fly in Colombia? Are a lot of people looking like this?
Well, actually, strangely enough, this is a Colombian brand called True, which is strange if you met any of the women down here that you'd have a true experience. But yeah, I wanted people to think I was down here working, so I put on the workers overalls.
Okay, well, yeah, you look like one of them, I guess. You told me that you were going to come on Wednesday, but then you had other plans. You had a meeting, right?
Yes. So this is a strange opportunity. I posted when I was at Pablo Escobar's grave, obviously just flogging the Oscar and Frank sunglasses, and someone messaged me. They're like, "I'm having lunch with Gloria Escobar on Wednesday. And so just a random dude off Instagram. And I was like, I thought he was taking the piss, but then I messaged him and he sent me some photos of some stuff. And I was like, oh, maybe this guy's the real deal. Let's just take a chance on this. And then, yeah, we got to have lunch with Gloria Escobar, the older sister of Pablo Escobar. Unfortunately, there was no product sampling vacancies available in the family anymore. All legit, but yeah, it was obviously pretty cool. She's 76. I think Pablo would be 75 now if he was alive. So it's cool hearing some family.
And there she is. There you guys
we
are.
look the same age, which is a testament to our lifestyle choices, I think.
What did you guys talk about? Does she speak English or do you speak Spanish?
I don't speak Spanish, unfortunately, but I've had a bit of luck here understanding what Colombian people are saying because they speak so much with the body language. I might hear one word and be able to deduce what the sentence is about. But yeah, I mean, she's just talking about what Pablo was like, sort of some stories I can't really repeat here. But yeah, I got to have lunch with her. I wanted to go back and film something with her, but definitely she's not interested in being in front of the camera at all. I think don't want the attention. But she was just telling me the family doesn't talk anymore. Stuff that you kind of expect in the aftermath of that.
A lot of security?
No security. No, I was with this guy, Jimmy. He was the driver. I think that was the extent of the security. But no, I think it's probably been long enough. Probably his enemies are dead now, I guess. But it's no security at all.
Okay. Perhaps she will be part of the investment team for the next CJI?
That would be good. Look, we had to scrap around in Ukraine last time, sell some missiles and whatnot. This time, I think it's going to be safer for me to find some investment out here in South America and also probably more cost effective come out of the source.
Okay, so now that it is in the books, you had the event, it came and went. I was enjoying it from afar. Your assessment, we're about 2 months removed, your assessment on how it all went down in Las Vegas in mid-August.
Honestly, I think it went too good. Really, like everything came together at the last second, like especially for day two, we really hit capacity and sold out. And we did the entire thing basically in under 3 to 4 months. Me and my business partner, Seth, who really have no event planning at all. But we connected with the right people sort of in the industry and it all came together. They let me obviously say whatever I wanted to market this event. We had a great budget. It was just a matter of whether people were going to support at the last minute, were the innovative rules going to work. And it kind of all came together. And then not only that, but even a lot of the, I would say enemies, I mean, not real enemies, I just like taking the piss of these people, took some big losses that weekend as well. Mo Jassem, who runs the ADCC World Championships, he stepped down as sort of running the event. I think he was fired, but he says he stepped down. Merab competed at ADCC. Now, this guy posted for weeks before how he was going to double gold. He was talking about his victory in the past tense. He lost second round to a purple belt and now has his comments limited on Instagram. So, like, when I say things went too well, I kind of like, I'm at a bit of a loss who to attack now. You know what I mean? Like, part of the motivating factor in my life is to tear down some of the big egos in the sport, but they're all pretty quiet after the event, sadly.
So it was about, I believe, a week ago that Mo stepped down, and you've been saying that he was fired. What is your intel? It's crazy because I remember when you were in studio, this was like he was a major part of the feud, right? With ADCC.
Yeah.
And so what is your intel telling you? And also, what was your reaction when you heard the news?
I mean, honestly, I thought it was pretty funny. Like, the guy talks a lot of shit for someone that's really never competed in the sport, never coached in the sport. Like, he's like on the outside looking in. Like, he's kind of a John DuPont character, a little less harmless, I'd say. Like, he makes jokes about sweeping some of the best guys in the world, like in the sport, and he calls it a money sweep, which is basically you get paid to take a dive in that particular exchange. But yeah, my first reaction was laughter, but my sources were telling me, because he had been talking previous to him stepping down about how he'd potentially do it different for ADCC 2026. And I think that was a week before he stepped down. So in my opinion, you usually don't make plans for the next event and talk about them publicly and then step down. Usually you're making plans and they ask you to step down. Doesn't really make sense for me.
Is he challenging you to a fight, to a boxing match or something?
This is funny. It's like a bad 80s movie, really, because like he challenged me to a boxing match, but he challenged me in the karate combat pit, which is like, we're just two grown men who are going to settle our differences with some fucking karate, you know? I think it'd be a poetic ending. I thought the ending was him being fired, but us having a fight would be hilarious, especially if it was fucking karate rules. Like, you couldn't make that shit up.
Are you interested?
Yeah, for sure. That sounds like a hilarious time, you know? But again, I would like some money out of this. You know, I've competed for Mo's organization enough times making no money. So if he wants to do the karate dance, I hope he get a good paycheck for that. He should donate his check to charity, and that charity being athletes that have competed for ADCC.
Right. I did hear, though, that aren't you done, or at least you said you were done competing against men?
I mean, this might fit the bill based on some of the behavior we've had to deal with leading up to the event. You know? So, like, I might make an exception in this particular circumstance.
Okay. Do you think that if he was in fact fired, do you think he was fired because of what you did in August?
I don't think he could be fired just for what I did. I think it's sort of in regards to his reactions to some of the things I did. Doubling down on certain stances. For me, the thing was like the secret show money. Like, my complaint was just, can we pay the athletes more money? I believe you have enough finances to pay the athletes more money, because we got Bruce Buffer and Michael Buffer. They got drums, they got performances, fireworks. They paid $2 million for T-Mobile. So I was always like, just raise the prize money to be in line with the growth of the sport. But he said, no, they didn't have enough money to do that. But then ultimately, when a competitor like ourselves came along, instead of raising prize money, he gave secret show money, basically to the athletes to keep them in his show. And I'm like, if you can pay secret show money, you can raise the prize money. Like, what are we talking? How significant was this money? I've been advised by my lawyer, Daniel Mosley, to say allegedly. Okay. I think the minimum is $2,500, but I heard some guys got upwards of $100,000, which to me is just insane. You know, obviously, there's some stars in the sport that stayed over there, and you'd have to imagine they got treated pretty damn well, because there were some people that were legitimate favorites to win the million that decided to stay behind. So it'd have to be pretty. You'd have to either hate me so much to not be a part of what I do, or be offered something pretty damn persuasive to turn down $1 million, a chance at $1 million. Do you have a breakdown, because you went head to head with them, like your attendance versus theirs, your views versus theirs, the money you generated versus theirs? I know I'm putting you on the spot here. I didn't ask for this in advance, but something tells me you have something. Do you know how you did compared to them? The numbers, well, I mean, it's just like if UFC Fight Pass or Flow Grappling broadcast an event as a streaming provider, they don't really tell the show involved what their streaming numbers are, because that gives the show a lot of leverage in negotiations. So I think Mo Jassim really knows what his ADCC World's viewing numbers are. I think those numbers are reserved for Flow Grappling, and they'll hang on to that till the bitter end, because that gives them control of the negotiations. We did very well because I was obviously free on YouTube, no paywall. So I think day one and day two, cumulatively, the total YouTube viewing numbers would have been over 4 million at this point, I believe. Wow. But total impressions, we had all the analytics up there for total impressions and stuff, but it was huge. So obviously, yeah, in my opinion, online went very, very well. Day one, our crowd looked a little empty, especially at the start of the day, because we started like a Friday, 3 p.m. But as Friday went along, started to fill up, Saturday filled up. But one disadvantage for us was a lot of people had bought ADCC tickets over a year in advance, planned flights, hotels, they planned for this. We threw the curveball at the last minute and did a Friday, Saturday. So a lot of people made it Saturday without having to change their Friday travel plans. When you saw that initially, and I saw some people posting the pictures and trying to mock you, are you freaking out? A little bit. Obviously, you're going to be paranoid inside, but what we saw was pretty much the same thing on the Saturday for ADCC, which sort of put my mind at ease, because our event ran so late Friday. I think a lot of people slept in on Saturday, so they showed up at ADCC late. But I think, you have to have something pretty damn special to get everyone in there from the opening match. I mean, even like when you watch the UFC, you see those premium seats empty till the main card starts sometimes.
Yeah.
Very hard to get people to watch the entire broadcast. But I sort of tailored it towards the Friday because we had the heavy guys in the morning and the lighter guys at night. And really, our under 80 kilo division was probably the best division the sport of grappling's ever seen. So by staging that at the end of day one, it kind of was like the main card for us. And really, by the time those boys started wrestling, the stands really started to fill up.
You also donated a bunch of money to charity, right? In the end, how much?
Yeah, so we donated $500,000 US to Tap Cancer Out. But it was sort of like there were 3 people donating there. There was CJI, Richard Byrne, he used to run Kasai Grappling. He's still involved in sort of this Kasai events. He matched our donation, and a guy choosing to remain anonymous matched it. So together we were able to donate $500,000 to cancer research.
Wow.
Then we donated to my friend that runs sort of a jiu-jitsu gym in Indonesia, in Bali. He really helps out the local communities out there, Academy Christos. We've filmed something with him that's going to be released soon. We've released part of it, but we'll release the whole sort of documentary thing soon. We're able to donate $50,000 to him, and obviously my memory is a bit shaky from my time out here, but also $50K to the Brazil floods, which was Gabby Garcia's charity of choice. And we're going to donate some more to Ukraine coming up too. We haven't made that donation yet. It's crazy how much like logistical paperwork and what a nightmare after the show is. Mainly for my business partner. I disappeared, but he has to do the back end stuff.
By the way, speaking of Gabby, what a scene with you and Gabby. You take off the pants, all that stuff. What was that experience like rolling with her?
I mean, honestly, the best part for me about the whole show, and I think a lot of people, for them as well, was like we kind of did make a mockery of what Gabby represents to the sport, but it ultimately had a happy ending because she's often been seen as the bully, beating up smaller women. And now for her to face off against a dude, even though it's a smaller dude, man versus woman match, it was kind of like a poetic ending for her because I've seen her be booed by 10,000 people at ADCC for winning a match. So here she got really celebrated by the entire crowd, the entire jiu-jitsu community, and they kind of felt bad for how they had poorly criticized her or judged her in the past.
She seems, I mean, you tell me you know her very well. She seems like a lovely person in the sense that she's game. She knows what's going on and she's down to partake. I feel like there's something there between you two. Am I crazy? I feel like there's a chemistry there. Am I nuts? Because I see a twinkle in your eye and her eye. Am I nuts here?
I mean, that's what I said after about the 20th time I woke up next to her. But I'm not sure yet. I wanted to make that public commitment yet.
Okay.
No, I mean, Gabby is an in-demand woman. Like a lot of people might say, oh, it's a big woman, it's a jacked woman, they're not really interested. But like that is a woman that gets a lot of male attention. I won't even give away too many details because she might kill me, but even some UFC champion level attention.
Wow. Okay. By the way, how much did she weigh in this match? How much do you think she weighed?
We couldn't get her on the scales. That's just couldn't happen, you know? Like I think we tried to. I've seen people at other shows try to get on scales as well. That's tough. She does not want.
What do you think?
Weight. Oh, I mean, just by rolling with her. I mean, I would think minimum 350 pounds.
Wow. And what were you?
I would say 175 with shoes on.
Okay, incredible. And this is something you'd like to keep doing, competing against other women.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, I think I've started at the very top, the highest level, most intimidating woman. But if there are any challenges around the world that seek to take on the intergender champion,
yes,
together for CJI too.
I love it.
That's the career I deserve. Some Andy Kaufman level sporting achievement.
I was. You know what? I'm sorry for doubting you. I was wondering if you knew where the intergender champion idea came from. Andy Kaufman made a great career being the intergender champion. You know what? How old are you?
33.
33. Respect, Craig. I didn't think that you had it in you. I didn't realize you were such an old soul.
I am an old soul, you know. Yeah, Kaufman started it. I want to just continue that legacy.
Is there
So,
someone?
it's got to be a bigger, scarier
Is there?
woman.
Have you found one?
I've been looking at cheap bars all around South America for the right taker, but still no worthy challenger yet.
When you were doing all of this, like, were you getting? You told me when you came in studio to announce all this, like, you were getting some messages, things like that. You were both in Las Vegas going head to head. Like, were you getting any threatening stuff?
Well, we did. We got some death threats.
Nice.
Definitely.
Okay.
He actually, the ACC, the other event organizer, threatened to kill me too.
Jeez.
And then he went offline for a while, but he sort of made a public apology and moved on from it. We had some behind the scenes death threats that I can't really talk about, but nothing that I felt was too serious. I mean, I just went to Ukraine. I think next week I'm going to Venezuela. So when they're throwing death threats out, I think, like, I put myself in enough danger to warrant being too fearful of that, you know?
Okay, so the big question is CJI 2. It will happen, yes?
Will happen.
When will it
100%.
happen?
I can't say yet, but we're hoping for an annual event. But we're coming close to announcing something. But really, I want to be patient with it because I want it to be better than the last one. That's what's important to me. I don't want it to be just this one-hit wonder, and then we go back to put on regular, boring-ass jiu-jitsu events, because most of them are absolutely boring. I want to recapture the same excitement we had for the first one and blow it up to what we were doing sort of with that first one. Capture the same magic. Like Meta Morris had their first event. During the first event, they showed the trailer that it was like Eddie Bravo versus Hoyler Gracie 2. So, like, they really hit the next show really good. Obviously, they had some financial troubles, but that's the type of energy we want to maintain.
So most likely it's a yearly thing. It's not every quarter or 6 months or something like that.
Yeah, every year. I mean, depending on the funding options we have available to us, depending on what Escobar's offering to give us here, could determine how often we do it. But yeah, I would not say more than every 6 months, just because the amount of work it is. And I like kind of having it not too regularly. Like, I miss back when you'd have to wait a month for another UFC card and you'd be so hyped.
Yeah.
Obviously, it's great now to have something every weekend, but I could think part of what made ADCC special so much is really that you had to wait so long between events. I wouldn't want to do like a monthly or really quarterly. I'd want to at least have some time in between.
And correct me if I'm wrong. I'm not an expert when it comes to this field. ADCC is not every year, right? So next year you wouldn't go head to head.
No, we wouldn't go head to head with them, but depending on their behavior and how polite they are with me and the athletes, who knows what 2026 holds. You know? Once you see that announced, you'll know how the relationship's gone behind the scenes if we do it on the same day again.
Okay. Would you like to?
I think it's fun. It's entertaining, you know, especially because, like, all the athletes really got to watch both events because there was very little actual crossover. It was just sort of marketed that way. So doing it the same weekend means the fans, especially, it's more affordable for them to only travel to Vegas once that year. So I'm happy for them to watch both shows. I make a lot of jokes, but still supportive of the ADCC.
You teased something on your Instagram today that you were going to make an announcement pertaining to ADCC. What's that?
Well, I mean, I don't know if we can talk about this yet. Potentially some things behind the scenes, you know, maybe there's been offers thrown out. Maybe I feel too qualified for the job now, but we can't officially announce anything yet.
What do you mean can't officially announce? You were just on your Instagram saying you were going to announce something like 30 minutes ago.
You know the game, Ariel. You know the tricks of the trade.
Are they trying to bring you? Are they trying to bring you over?
I mean, who knows? I think if enough people send them angry email, you never know what they will do to get that to stop.
Yeah.
But I could run ADCC as well. Seems like an easy job based on who did it in the past.
Are people hitting you up? I want to be a part of it. I saw someone say to me, book Brendan Schaub versus Nate Diaz at the next one. I don't know if you saw that back and forth. Brendan Schaub challenged him to a grappling match last week. Did you see that?
I'm interested, but only if you commentate that grappling match.
Yeah, sign me up. I'm in. If you make that match happen, I'm in.
Honestly, anything entertaining enough like that would be amazing. But Nate Diaz will probably physically attack him before we got to the grappling stage.
That's cool. I mean, that's all part. I feel like you'd welcome that.
Part of the drama. You know, who knows? Maybe Brandon Sharp does what I did to Gabby, throws a little kiss in there, throws him off his game.
But have people have stars hit you up and said, "I want in on the next one. I saw what you did. It's impressive."
I mean, I would say yeah, definitely, but also those people were messaging me when they saw the $1 million. You know, that's something that made me realize that the like UFC or high level MMA guys aren't always, even the famous ones aren't paid a huge amount of money, because $1 million for a grappling tournament, they want in. You know,
Right.
they're very interested. So it's like I think it's a testament to someone's payday in the MMA field is how eager they would be to test themselves for $1 million.
I want DJ on the next one.
He's a gi guy.
Yeah.
DJ is a gi guy.
So
we
what?
have to,
You don't think he could do it?
if he would do it, we'd throw him in there.
Can you do a gi match for him? I mean, who cares? You do your own rules.
True. Who would he challenge though? Brandon Sharp?
Gordon Ryan.
Gordon.
You guys are cool, right? Are you guys okay now?
Rock solid friends.
Did
I
he-
would say our relationship's probably never been better.
Did he send you some congratulations, some nice messages afterwards?
We did have a minor exchange afterwards, and he hasn't hit me up at all really since. Oh, actually, when the team immediately split up, we had some angry messages into a group chat, which would be funny to read, actually. I think I still have that group chat, but ever since then, nothing. Because he knows whatever he sends me, I'm going to turn into some material. So I'm trying to think. He messaged me straight after and he said, I just want you to know that I was still the highest paid grappler this weekend. And I said, I'm pretty sure I said, congratulations, buy your wife's boyfriend something nice. And we kind of evolved to that level.
Jeez.
I mean, if he was paid more than the CJI champions, then I would probably be even more disappointed with Mo Jassim and ADCC that they would pay someone that much money while the prize money is $10,000 for division.
Right. All right. Well, I guess that's not happening. But you did go back to Australia. I saw you went back to see the family afterwards.
Yep, went back to see the family afterwards. It was like coming back from a tour of Vietnam, I imagine. They were quite relieved that I was still alive, I think, yeah.
Was this a surprise here, what we're seeing here? Did your mom know?
Surprise. Yeah, honestly, what did we do? We had the event. We went to Colombia for a week partying. That's where you saw the photo with Luke. So I think, and then I surprised them with a trip back to Australia, which, I mean, it's a fucking long way, to be honest. But I think they were just surprised I survived Colombia.
When's the last time you saw these members of your family?
I would say 18 months to 2 years.
Wow. Why so long?
Have you taken the flight to Australia?
Yeah, twice. It is long, but I mean, that's your blood.
That's true. That's true. I try to fly him to me sometimes, but I don't even know where the fuck I'll be next week. Makes the scheduling quite hard.
By the way, you once told me like you were in Austin and then you went to Thailand and then you had to go to Corner Vogue on like an hour's notice. Like, you don't seem too worried about flights and things like that.
No, I mean, that's why Xanax was invented, really.
Yeah.
For airplane experience. Like, you have enough Xanax, economy is business class. That's my opinion anyway, but it's fucking tough to do these flights. So brutal on the body. That's why I've been in Colombia for 4 weeks. It was obviously brutal on the body anyway, but it has been good to be in one time zone, one location,
Right.
such an extended time.
By the way, Topuria Max this weekend, is Volk going to fight the winner?
You probably know more than me. I don't pry too deeply into it. I just wait for the call, jump on the plane and ride the coattails. But I would imagine that is probably set up. I'm hoping that's something lined up for Spain, maybe. Spain in the future.
Does that
Depends,
mean
obviously,
Right.
derails the hype train, you know? I'm super excited for this fight. It's going to be fucking sick to watch as a fan.
Yeah, no, it's a great one. But you saying Spain, does that mean you think Ilya wins?
Oh, I don't think so, but I don't know. Obviously, I probably lean more towards Holloway, but who knows? But I'm just saying it would be cool to have that rematch in a destination like that.
Okay, fair. As far as you're concerned, any competitions coming up? Are you doing anything on the schedule?
I'm honestly thinking about throwing the gi back on.
Okay.
I'm thinking about jumping.
So maybe it's you versus DJ.
That would be a fun one. He should have the advantage there. He's a seasoned gi grappler of late. So, and I like the weight disadvantage he has as well.
Sure. Would that be this year? Not you versus DJ, but you competing in a gi.
It's tough, obviously, first and foremost, I couldn't do IBJJF because they drug test me and then gone. Is that accomplishment? But if I were to do another show, here's the problem now, because I promote my own show. We did CJI, so part of me is like, do I do it on another show, support another streaming platform that sort of really didn't give us much support, or do I wait and do it on my own sort of promoted events? And really, I lean towards the latter sort of situation.
I agree with that. I think that's smart. By the way, when you say the drug test would be an issue, is that because of recreational drugs or performance-enhancing drugs?
Would it be the PEDs? But I like to think that the performance-enhancing and decreasing drugs find an equilibrium of even playing field for my opponents here. That's my logic anyway.
Because you were going up against Gabby, any special concoction for that one?
Honestly, I try not to take more than 12 milligrams of Cialis because it gives me a headache. But Gabby is the type of woman that you throw an extra 8 and then hit that maximum dosage range of 20 milligrams.
Okay. Fair enough. Stay safe out there. How long are you staying there for?
I think, honestly, decided this morning that I'm going to fly to Venezuela in 7 days and teach some jiu-jitsu out there. So fingers crossed. Stay safe out there.
When's the last time you slept in your actual bed in your apartment or house?
I turned my house into an Airbnb, so that thing's long gone.
Okay.
So really, if you don't go back home long enough, a nice hotel bed in a underground bunker in Colombia kind of feels pretty damn comfortable as well.
Insane. This is your actual Airbnb.
Yeah, I gotta be careful what we show here, but yeah, we're built in.
Wow. All right. Well, definitely stay safe. That is incredible. It seems like a fun experience. We appreciate you coming on. We appreciate you stopping by, and congratulations. It was a lot of fun. I was watching it from afar. I was very impressed, and I can't wait for the second one. Keep us posted. I want in on that match. That one you offered, I want in.
Oh, you're in. We don't have to work around that amateur organization, the Olympics, you were busy with last time.
Yeah, listen, I didn't want to bring it up, but I was a little busy. But no Olympics next summer, so I'm free and clear.
Awesome. You're in for the homeless cats cornering ideas.
Thank you, Craig. Congrats. Appreciate it. Talk to you soon.
Got you, bro.
What a guy, Craig Jones. Always great to chat with him, and a unique individual. I enjoyed watching. I've said it before. I'm fascinated by the jiu-jitsu community, and I'm fascinated by the characters and the drama and all this stuff. I'm not someone who follows it on a day-to-day basis like I would, say, MMA or boxing. But I think it's an amazing thing what he's done, and I give him a lot of credit. Going up against the machine like that, incredible. All right, speaking of the machine, let us talk to the man who won the UFC men's bantamweight title a little over a month ago. What a performance, what a win. Back at the Sphere, Noche UFC, a story years in the making, an inspirational story in its own right. He comes to America from Georgia, comes to New York, works in construction, does what he has to do, sets his sights on a big dream, part of a team that is no stranger to winning titles, has to fight contender after contender after contender after contender, and then he finally gets his chance, he wins, and then what a scene it was when he came back home as champion. We're talking, of course, about the pride of Georgia himself, Merab Dvalishvili. There he is, the man. How are you, Merab? Thank you for joining us.
Thank you for having me. I'm doing great. How are you?
I'm doing amazing, and it's so great to talk to you, and I'm so happy for you, as I said, so happy. What a story yours is, and what an accomplishment. I've seen you all over the world in the last month. Can you even describe what life has been like for you since you won the belt a month ago?
of course, changed lots of things, and of course, it was a long time coming, but I'm still same guy, and of course, wherever I go, people show me love, respect, and now I'm a champion. They treat me different, but um, I'm still same guy, and the goal is same. But of course, man, I made it. History made, and now I'm champion. And uh, yeah, like I mean, it was hard to dream a couple years ago. Everything, if I will ever come champion, but today here we are. I'm a champion, and now yeah, I'm on top of the world.
When you allowed yourself to dream of what life would be like as a champion, did it feel like this, or is this even better than you thought?
Uh, Actually, to be honest, I want to be better. I want to have a more time and do more active stuff. I want to visit more countries, and I want to do lots of good things, but it's very hard to do technical stuff. I have to answer all my phones and call and make. I want to do lots of good things now. I'm a champion, but it's very hard to do it. Because I need the people who I can tell help me. To do good things. Like even especially first in my country and other countries too. Like I want to be better. I mean, when I was thinking to come champion, uh, man, I don't know. Like I don't know. Like life is so good for me for sure. Right now, I'm a champion, but I tell you, um, I'm still hungry, and I have even big goals ahead of me. But history made. I'm champion, and I'm set up for forever. I'm good.
And I have to ask you, Merab, what a scene it was when you came home to Georgia. That was unbelievable, man. Were you expecting that? Were you expecting that kind of reception?
I know my country love me, and they always show me respect, support, love, and everything else. Georgia made me. Georgia raised me, and who I am. I'm Georgian, and I'm just one Georgian guy. But yeah, when I once I get in my country, and I feel everything was different, man. Um, because especially I don't even tell government to organize this or something. We just make Facebook status or something, with my sponsor, and all country came out, man. And like even like when once we go, once we come out in airport, and people was waiting there, and they they were so excited, and so happy. Everybody wants to take a picture or just say and just tell me to congratulation. And I was on top of the bus, right? And then we was driving to the city, and the cars were stopping and the peeping, and the people screaming, the shaking hands, and the kids was chasing us, running. Everybody wanted to jump our bus, or like from the people from the window from the apartments. They was like wowing hands, and like it was crazy experience when I I don't feel anywhere else more than my country. When I went my country, I realized that I am a real champion now, because first I realized I was champion when then I wrapped the belt, and when I look my belt, and now I got this. It's my. I realize it's my belt, and I cannot control my emotion. And like maybe first 2 minutes I was like maybe 1 minute, only 1 minute I was like very emotional. I cannot control my emotion, but and then the second time hit me once I got come out from airport, and I see there's so many people, and in Tbilisi when I was and celebrating with my people and everybody, like, especially lots of kids outside, and they're waiting for me, and like these people happy for me, and they wanna celebrate with me, and they are happy for me. And that was I cannot describe, man. This is like I was feeling like I was grateful, and I'm grateful for for support Georgian people give me, and the people give me around the world.
It was unbelievable to see the hero's welcome that you received, and I couldn't help but think you've probably left from that airport, returned home via that airport countless times. You left to go chase a dream in America. The guy who left initially to come to New York, could he have ever imagined that one day you would come back and land there, and this is the reception that you would get with police, with people, like it seemed like thousands of people. There's a guy on a chariot over there with the horses following you. This is
Yes.
absurd.
Yeah, the guy came by himself, like with the horses. He was telling me, "Please come to my horse. I came from the far. I bring my horses from the like a couple 100 kilometers. He was just riding himself. Nobody asked him to come."
Wow.
And I said, "Bro, I can't. The people will jump on us, and they will stall me. And then it's not safe. Like I wanted to go actually, but the people who was with me, they told him, please, we cannot let you go there because it's not safe, and you gotta be in the top of the two-floor bus, because everybody wanted to like just jump on me. And to answer your question, no, man, I wasn't even dream about this when I was coming to US. I have a goal to represent my country outside of my country, and I wanted to do my best when I came New York. But like I tell you many times, uh, I waste my first year, and it was hard, man. I have to start working construction, and I even retired 1 year from MMA, and I was heartbroken a couple times, and I was asking myself question if it was worth it to continue MMA journey. And but I'm glad I did, and I make all my country happy and proud, and the people around the world. Like I'm sure I give lots of people motivation, and I inspire lots of people because yeah, I'm not coming from rich family or something, but I was just chasing my dream, and I was working, and I earned everything. And same thing, I wasn't um I don't gifted uh, anything. I earned everything, and then they can do same thing, just work, and then step by step follow the dream, and work for your dream, work for your goal, and they will they will be they will become successful.
Yeah, and then over the weekend, I see you with Eddie Hearn in Saudi Arabia. I saw you with Turkey Al Sheikh.
Yes.
What conversations did you have with Turkey in particular? I'm curious about. I saw a photo of you two.
Yeah, he's cool, man, and he told me to you should fight here in Riyadh, uh, and I said you are the guy who can make this happen, and I would love to fight here in Riyadh. And I said you make happen, and I will fight. I would love to fight here, and that's the main thing was this. Like he asked me to fight in Riyadh, and I said I would love to. Just. Just give me the date, and I'm in. And he's just cool, and he invite me actually. I think he sponsor UFC Noche, and he invited me in Riyadh to do documentary. I was just going different places, and UFC was filming, and I have a great time. The hospitality here in Saudi Arabia, it's on top, and they treat me very good. And it's different culture, different country for sure. And I'm glad I was there, and I experienced it myself, and I have a great time. And I would love to fight in Riyadh. And so yeah.
So we
And
had
also I met some yeah, the famous tennis player.
Yes, Carlos Alcaraz, I saw. Martin Lawrence, you were with as well. You were with a ton
Right.
of famous people. So it seems like life is treating you very well. Last
Yes.
week, Merab, we had Sean O'Malley on the show. And obviously, we talked a
Yes.
lot about the fight. Just want to play you a quick clip of what he said about the fight and get your reaction, okay?
Okay.
Here you go.
I'm doing everything I can do to get back in there. But, I want to make that walk again, and I want Merab next. I know I'm better than him. I need to right that wrong. I think Miami would just be sweet. I would like to go back to Miami and prove that one again, rematch, Merab. That's what I want.
So he wants you in around March or April. He wants to rematch you. Are you interested in fighting him again next? Your first title defense against Sean O'Malley.
I mean, 100%, man. Like, when I saw first time he wants to do rematch, I said, let's fight in November. I can't really fight. Even I'm here and I'm working with UFC. I can fight him like next week. I know he's not ready now, but that's why I tell him to let's fight in November. We already fought, and I know his game, his power, everything, and no problem. I can fight him back, and now I will not kiss him, and I will finish him, and I will not take care of him. I go on easy on him like first time. So now this time, I will just I will I will destroy him. And but still, I still love him. Like now I love him even better.
Why'd you
and
go easy on him, Merab?
Oh, actually, I wanted to finish him fifth round, but Herdin, when I take him down, I was waiting to Sean was supposed to move, and I either choke him or I either like punch him hard and try to finish him. Herdin told me to work, and I let go. I changed the position, and he tell me again, "You gotta work." And I let go. What should I do? And I let him get up, and that's why and then it take me a long time to take him down again in fifth round. And otherwise, I was gonna finish in fifth round, but her didn't make me to let go because he was keep telling me constantly like you gotta work, fighter, you gotta work, and I'm like working. He has to move. I'm on top, I take him down, not he don't take me down. He has to move, but it's okay. Now this time I'm gonna try to finish him early. Like I was trying to finish him fifth round, but doesn't worked out that way. And this time I will finish him early. So, but he's saying he wants to finish me or he will do better. Okay, that's even interesting me more. I mean, if he will do it, and if people are interesting, I'm in. But listen, I don't want people making this. I know, I'm sure you see also online a lot of people talking shit. Hey, 2024, I fought Henry Cejudo in February, and 3 weeks later I make weight again. I was backup fighter for Chito Vera and Sean O'Malley, and then I fought September again for the belt, and I think I make weight 3 times. So now I'm a champion, and then what I see, every champion takes time and enjoy and traveling and do business, and I'm doing same thing. And then usually I get if I get 2 times fight in 1 year, it's very good in UFC. So, and then I already fought 2 times 2024. I want to fight 3 times in 2025. So, and that's my plan if it's worked out. So I don't know why people blame on me, like the like I don't want to come back December. Like it's stupid. I'm a champion now, and I want to take my time off, and I want to enjoy my time. And so if UFC offers me Sean O'Malley, I would love to fight him. If UFC offer me and somebody else, I will fight. I'm a champion now, and I'm not making. I mean, I don't know. Maybe some champion makes decision, but I don't care. They give me whoever is next contender, and I will fight. But my best option will be Sean O'Malley. But hey, if only if UFC wants me fight Sean O'Malley, this way I will fight him. If not, anybody else, we will see. There is lots of good fights coming up. Lots of contenders are fighting. You know who are fighting. So and then whoever will deserve, I will fight.
So let me ask you this, because obviously after the fight, it seemed like they wanted to do you versus Umar Nurmagomedov, but last week we get a report, and I was hearing the same, that they're now trying to do Umar versus Song Yadong. Were you aware of this, and do you have any idea why Umar would be fighting someone other than you next?
I actually I have no idea why Umar fighting Song Yadong. I mean, for me, it's good. It's another test for him, and he has to prove, I think, my personal opinion, it's good fight. But he was saying he's the next contender. UFC are giving him title fight. He was talking all the trash to me. And if he was number one contender, like he was saying, and if he was already fighting for the belt, I don't know why he's fighting again. But for the sport, it's good. He has to fight more because from top 15 he only fought Corey Sandhagen, and we all know Corey Sandhagen he's not a wrestler. He has a hard time against wrestler. He Aljo finished him, and then he lost against Umar. But yeah, Corey Sandhagen is a good fighter, but I mean you only beat this guy and then you deserve title fight. For me, you need to fight more, but yeah, I don't know.
Were they trying to get you to fight in December or January against him? Were they trying to pressure you to do that?
Yes, UFC told me to fight him, and I said I will fight I will fight him either January or March, and then that's it. That was it, and now Umar take other fight. So I don't know.
Okay.
But like I said, now I don't know anything else. I all I said, I'm not January because, it's a New Year and it's a Georgian Christmas and I need the time. I said February is good for me and March for me. It's like, and then I will go from there. I said I wanna 3 fights in 2025, and and I'm ready.
But just to be clear, if they offer you Umar next, you're saying yes, right? You're not ducking him. You're not. You have no problem.
No,
you will fight him.
I have no problem. Whoever UFC will offer me, I will fight. I never choose my opponent, and I'm gonna continue same. I never have an option like this to say I'm gonna fight him or him. I never was like this situation before, and I don't think any different now.
And also, just to be clear, you're available as of February. So if they offer you him for the February pay-per-view or March, you'll happily fight him, yes?
Oh, yes.
Okay. Do you think if his last name wasn't Nurmagomedov that they'd even be trying to make this fight?
I am sure 100%, yes. Of course, it helps very much. He's Umar Nurmagomedov, Khabib's cousin, undefeated, and it helps, because that's why they're pushing him. They don't help Aljo like this, because Aljo earned it to get championship fight. I think when title fight was when the title was vacated after I think TJ Dillashaw got suspended or something happened. I don't remember, and then Aljo and Corey Sandhagen was number one contender guys, like in number one, number two, but they don't give them title fight. They give Peter Yan against Jose Aldo, and after so and Aljo has to fight again, and so they don't. And then same thing, my story. I fought 3 former champions before I earned the title fight, and but Umar, he wasn't fighting against top 15 guys, and they give him number 2 guy. So and then but it's whatever, man. He's a good fighter. That's fine. I'm cool.
In the post-fight press conference, I just wanted to ask you about this. Someone asked you about him being Russian, and then you said he's not Russian, he's Dagestani, and this seemed to upset some people. Why did you say that?
That's true.
But isn't Dagestan in Russia?
Yes.
So I don't understand.
Yeah.
What do you mean?
Oh man, those people are very sensitive, man. When I talk true, everybody knows true. But
Okay.
listen, it's okay. Keep it like this.
Do you think it
man.
will get ugly if considering the history with Georgia and Russia and you have Dagestan involved? Like, do you think the build up to this fight will get very ugly?
No, because Umar, he's from Dagestan, and I have so much respect for Dagestani people. Even I lost respect for Umar Nurmagomedov, for him personal, but I of course I have a respect Dagestani people, and as a Dagestan republic and country, um, and I also have a respect Republic of Chechnya and country Chechnya, and also there is other country Ingushetia. We are really brothers, Ingushetia and Georgia. There is the one country we never fought each other. We was always helping each other, and we always showed the love each other, and then I will never I will never. They're not. For me, there will be Chechnyan, Dagestanian, and Ingushetian people, and they're not Russian. That's. I will never. I don't know how to say. So there is Russia country, and then there is all these republics.
Okay. By the way, when you went home, is it true that the government gave you like $1 million of the local dollars, and then you donated it to a charity?
Yes, they give me 1 million lari, and so I'm donating to MMA in Georgia.
Incredible.
We are in the process. We are in process now. They're working some big projects.
And that's like $370,000 US. So that's
exactly, sir. Yes.
A very impressive thing. Well done to you. That's incredible. I did want to ask you about Sean. He continues to say that he thinks he won the fight, that he watched it without commentary. He won 3 rounds. When you hear this from him, what is your reaction?
Yes, he won this fight, and listen, I don't have reaction. I'm not mad. I mean, actually, I want to him promote this, and I want to more people believe this, and I want to fight him because like I tell you, I will not kiss him this time. I will try, I will try because I like him, and sometimes man, but this time I will finish him. I will finish the fight. I will finish business. I'm not gonna listen hard in, and I'm gonna go for a finish, So, and yeah, I mean, I'm not mad when I see this. It's okay.
Okay, and so
I wish it must happen. I wish.
Sure. How do you feel this whole story plays out with you? Like in your heart, who do you think you fight next and when?
I have no idea. I tell you, I tell same thing UFC. I'm ready for February, and then of course March, whatever they want. I'm ready. Not January, but yeah. I'm ready. I'm ready for February, March, April, whatever they want. I'm ready. And then whoever UFC wants, I'm ready for fight. I'm not saying it has to be O'Malley. I'm not saying. Like you guys know, I said next I want the fight against Figueiredo, but I'm not saying this one anymore. And whoever deserved, whoever UFC will choose, I will fight next. It's like because I'm not making decision. UFC makes decision, and I will respect UFC's decision, and I will take as another challenge. I always take, and you guys know I love challenges, and I how you say that I'm ducking not anybody or I'm scared of fight. Like I'm here for fight, and I have a 11 fight win streak, guys, and I fought everybody. So and I think. I don't have to prove anything, Everybody know the real MMA fans. Then they know they show me so much love, so much respect, so much support. And now today we have so many toxic people in internet and the keyboard warriors, and they talking shit for me or some other people's man. Like when I see people talking trash against Mike Chandler and Jamal Hill and my brother Aljama is telling, and I'm like, I realize they are fake people, man, and then like they just want to talk trash, and they are toxic people, and I'm just. I'm trying to I'm learning to ignoring them, because the good people, they're not gonna go internet and they're not gonna talking shit. If they have some problems, they will come and they will face us or they will tell me in a straight. But that's it.
If Umar does fight Song, who do you think wins?
To be honest, I don't know. I mean, I think Umar supposed to win this fight. If the Umar this much good, yeah, Umar supposed to win this fight. Yeah, but we know it's a fight. Everything is possible, and yeah.
Okay, and I do believe you'll be at UFC 308 to support your fellow countryman Ilia Topuria. Are you going to be with him this week? Are you going to be helping him at all?
Yes. I will watch his fight. I will be with him this week, but I don't want to I'm a professional fighter. I love him. He's my brother, but he already has his team, his training partners. He has a fight week. He's cutting weight now, and I'm only gonna see him, support him. I'm not gonna jump his training camp and do something extra because I know I'm a professional guy, and then I will just support him as my brother, and I mean I will help this way.
That makes sense.
Just to
Yep.
yeah.
And what a time for Georgian sports, with both of you winning, with the football team doing so well in the Euro. It's a great time to be a Georgian. And if we can end on this, Merab, if there is maybe someone out there who just moved from a faraway land and came to the United States now and has a dream of being a fighter and has a dream of being a UFC champion, and it seemed so far-fetched, just like it was for you about 10 years ago, and who thinks maybe it's not going to happen, he's not going to get signed, he's not going to get the fights, she's not going to get the fights, man or woman, what would you tell to that person right now who's hanging on by a thread, who thinks it's too big of a dream, and his family is maybe telling him it's time to come to reality and do something real and get a real job and get real pay and all this stuff? If there's that person who deep down wants to do it and believes that they can do it, but maybe right now it doesn't look like it's going to happen, what advice would you give to that young fighter?
Never give up. Please keep chasing your dream, and every day do little step, little training, grow up, learn something, get better, and right time will come. You have to be right time, right where, and an opportunity will come. And especially today, it's only take a little bit, keep chasing your dream, never give up, and everything is possible. Yes, just believe yourself. Don't listen to other people. Only believe yourself, and keep training, and you will get better. In the physical, mentally, and nobody can break you, and nobody can take away from you, because you will earn everything else, and so. Man, everything is possible, man. Just when you do hard work, and you will come stronger physically and mentally, and nobody can beat you. And then you will achieve you will earn, and you will make your goal.
Love it. Well done, Merab. Congratulations again. Thank you so much. I know it's late over there where you are, so thank you for joining us. Enjoy everything that comes with being a champion. Way to hold your ground. You tell them what's what. You tell them when you're ready to fight. You don't let anyone push you around. You're the king. You're the man. They're all coming after you after years of you having to chase them down. You have to fight everyone on the planet, and now they say, no, you have to come back in December. That's insanity. So you tell them what's what. You keep doing your thing, Merab, and I look forward to seeing you back in action in 2025.
Thank you, Ariel. I appreciate you, man. Thank you so much.
Okay, we'll talk to you soon. There he is, the machine, Merab Dvalishvili, the pride of Georgia, the brand new UFC bantamweight champion. It's crazy. Sometimes I ask these guys to come back, and he's like, the guy just won. Can you let him go to Riyadh? Can you let him go to Dubai? Can you let him drink the finest wine and rub elbows with the big shots out there, the luminaries out there? I mean, it's not that big of a difference, is it? And they figured it out. They got December sorted. They'll get January sorted. Let them come back in February. Now, February is Australia, so maybe that doesn't make a ton of sense, or maybe it does. Maybe there's a huge Georgian population there. Who knows? Now, great stuff from Merab. Great stuff from everyone. Last guest, the main eventer on Saturday in his first UFC main event. He comes out shining like a star. 6 in a row now for Anthony Fluffy Hernandez. And take a listen to some of these records that he set on Saturday. In his win, his stoppage win, 5th round stoppage win, I might add, against Michel Pereira, who had been on quite a run as well. Strike differential, 219 to 29. Previous record, all the way back at UFC 58 in 2006, the strike differential for Rich Franklin against our guy David Loiseau was 106. On this night, this past Saturday, it was 128. 97 significant ground strikes landed, a new single fight UFC middleweight record. Hernandez also attempted 29 takedowns, a new single fight UFC middleweight record. He also became the 5th UFC fighter in history to land 100 plus significant strikes and 10 or more takedowns in a single fight, joining the likes of Merab Dvalishvili, Colby Covington, Kamaru Usman, and Cain Velasquez. Also, 4th most takedown attempts in a single bout in UFC history. A fantastic night for Anthony Hernandez, who is now very much in the chase at 185 pounds. He's kind enough to join us right here and now. There he is. Hello, Anthony. Good to talk to you again, and congratulations on a tremendous win.
Thank you. It's good to be back.
I'm sure you knew about those stats. Are any of those news to you?
No, yeah, I heard about them the other day. It's pretty fucking awesome, man. It's I'm just doing my thing and breaking records.
That you are 100%. Did we lose him? Maybe. Did we?
We're checking.
Okay. He just froze on me here off the bat.
We'll get him right back.
But he is here. You saw him.
I mean, you were talking to him.
I was just talking to him. He was right there. Michel Pereira, who obviously is a stud in his own right. He had not lost in 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 fights and had looked quite good as a middleweight. Fluffy Hernandez gets an opportunity to fight him and does big-time things and stops him in the 5th round to boot. Remember, we had him on the show on the old show back in February, and he told us about his chickens and about the barn that he wants to make for his family. He's had a lot of canceled bouts since then. 2 in particular, supposed to fight Roman Dolidze back in June, supposed to fight Michel Pereira back in September at the Noche UFC card. The bout was rescheduled for this past Saturday. Prior to that, he had 3 fights fall through. Prior to the Roman Kopylov fight, he had a Chris Curtis fight fall through, a Kopylov fight fall through, an Ikram Aliskerov fight fall through. But it has been an impressive run for him, 6 in a row. By the way, prior to the he had 3 in a row prior to the Kopylov fight, and then he had 4 cancellations. Puna Soriano, Dustin Stoltzfus, Albert Duriev, and DDP, Dricus du Plessis. Wonder how that would have gone. And that was all after his Rodolfo Vieira win. Last loss came in May of 2020. Since then, he has won every single one of his fights. And as of right this moment, they come out with those rankings, at least for now. Who knows if they're going to switch them up. he is 13, one slot ahead of Michel Pereira, one slot below Khamzat Chimaev, who, of course, is returning to action this Saturday against number 3, Robert Whittaker. Huge fight, massive gap between them. That's 9 slots between them. I would ask Anthony about that fight, but he has told us time and again that he doesn't really watch anything, doesn't really watch MMA, doesn't care about the names, doesn't know much about his opponents, didn't even know really who Rodolfo Vieira was, didn't understand the significance of that victory when he beat the legendary BJJ black belt. Did he disappear on us? Subbed him, by the way. Gentlemen? Oh, is he back? Okay, there he is. Hello, Anthony. How are you?
Hey, sorry, my phone overheated outside and I had to run inside.
Damn. Is it that hot in California?
I guess so. I'm in Vegas still. I'm at the PI getting work done and stuff and getting some recovery before I take off tonight.
Okay, all right. Well, thanks for doing this. I appreciate it. How is your body after the win?
Good. I just got some bone bruises, but I'm solid as of right now.
And obviously 5 rounds, you stop him in the 5th. Would you have been, considering how dominant you were, especially back into the fight, would you have been pissed if you didn't stop him?
No, I definitely would have. No, I mean, I guess I don't know. He was tough. You know what I mean? Everyone's really good in the UFC. It's like I'm just happy to be able to finish, keep getting finishes. Realistically,
yeah.
But no, he was tough. I thought maybe I could have got him out of there sooner, but I didn't want to try to like gas myself out trying to finish him. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But it all worked out.
He's looked amazing at 185. He's looked amazing as of late, like we were saying when we were reconnecting with you. When you got the fight, when you were planning for him, and I know you've told us that you don't really watch MMA, you don't really pay attention to these dudes. What did you think was going to happen? Like, did this match what you thought?
Yeah, no, it's basically I just knew I couldn't get hit with the big explosive shots, and I actually didn't get caught early, so I was like, fuck, with the body shot. But I ended up being able to breathe it off. You know what I mean? It all worked out. But with his style, he needs space, and I'm not like, I don't give space when I fight. I'm like right in your face. So I thought it was gonna play out exactly the way it did.
Yeah. He hit you with the shot, and then I think you said afterwards, like, that kind of woke you up, right? That kind of like.
Yeah. After that, I was like, all right, fuck you. You know what I mean? It's just like, yeah, it's a fist fight at the end of the day.
Are you that kind of fighter? Are you the kind of guy who needs to get hit to get going?
Usually I don't like to, but I mean, sometimes, yeah. Sometimes I got to get pissed off a little bit and then get extra motivated. You know what I mean?
This fight was supposed to be on the Sphere card, and they moved it a month ahead. Was it just because they needed a main event, or was there a different reason?
Honestly, I don't really know how it worked out. My manager's like, they want to take you off the Sphere, but I got good news that they offered a main event spot, and I was like, dude, I'll take it. Hell yeah. And at the end of the day, that's what I want is main events and to make a climb for the belt. So it all worked out perfectly. You know what I mean?
Yeah. It seems to me like you were more excited about the main event slot, even if it was at the Apex, as opposed to the Sphere card, even though that was getting all the attention.
Oh, for sure. I mean, the full attention's all about you that day. You know what I mean? If you're the main event. So it was everything I wanted since I was a kid. So it definitely worked out for me.
Did it feel surreal seeing your face on there, seeing yourself on the poster, being a part of a UFC main event?
Man, it was so awesome. Yeah, it was definitely like, it's everything I expected. At first I got put in the video game and I was like, fuck yeah. And then now this, and it's like, all right, now everything's starting to go perfect the way I wanted it to. So it's just keep doing what I've been doing and proving these people wrong.
You hear from a lot of fighters, Anthony, who say, I want to be the best, I want to win the belt. And I think it's because they want to prove that they are the baddest individual in their weight class, that they're the champ and all that comes with it. But for you, because I've listened to a lot of your stuff, it seems to me like your motivation isn't necessarily, I want to be the best. Obviously, that's a byproduct, but it really is because you just want to give your kids a better life. You want to give your and the belt leads you to that,
sure.
right?
For sure. Like the belt is the opportunity. You know what I mean? It opens up so many doors. And then that just helps me for my children. You know what I mean? Hopefully I can get them in better colleges or something. You know what I mean? I'm not worried about me personally. I've had a fun life. So I'm just going to keep doing this therapy and get paid. And hopefully I can give back better to my kids.
When we spoke in February, you had said that you were kind of like a year removed from living in a trailer with your family. And now you guys were living in the city, so you were making the steps to give them a better life. Do you feel like you're now fully on that path after your first UFC main event win?
Definitely, man. I got money in the bank again, so the house is getting paid down, and I can slowly work on finishing my property and get back to the country and give these kids like a fun, nice childhood with animals and pets, and get them off their cell phones and off the bullshit. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Well, and what about that? Because you were lamenting the fact that you were living in the city and you wanted to get your big barn, you wanted your acres and acres of land. You told us about the dream that you had with your father. How close are you to realizing this dream?
Man, I think a couple more fights and I'll be able to do that. You know what I mean? Slowly but surely. I'm not trying to like rush into it and leave myself broke. I got to be able to train and make sure that I'm stress free and able to just fight. You know what I mean? I don't want no worries. So I believe like 2 more fights and we'll be there.
Are they down with this dream, by the way? Like, do they want to move to the country too?
Man, my kids love the country. They love animals. My daughter wants a horse and stuff. I'm like, you can't have a horse in the city. You know what I mean? So yeah, they're little country kids, and like we like dirt bikes, we like quads, and we like having fun. So I think the country suits us more. You know what I mean?
Are you still letting the chickens walk around the house?
Yeah, no, they're awesome. They're little babies. You know what I mean? I got a bunch of them. My kids love them. Walk them in and out of the house, and they're fun.
Unfortunately, did one pass away recently?
Yeah, my Elcock was like the main one. My little guy. Yep, him.
Damn.
Man, but he had a great life. So I was blessed to have him in my life, and we had a freaking so much fun. He did more than most chickens, exactly. He did way more than most chickens did. So
this guy is the man.
Great, you know what I mean? He was the best. I got some of his little children, so it's like his bloodline's going on. And man, it's fun. So fun with my kids. Get to like show them the eggs and the babies forming, and it's nice. It takes my mind off life. You know what I mean?
Yo, I don't know if a chicken has ever had a better life than Elcock. I mean, look at this life.
No.
What is this
That's
outfit?
my guy. That's his little sombrero and his chain. Yep, he got that sponsored.
What a legend. How old was he?
He was like 2 years old.
Okay. What is like the general lifespan?
It's like 12 years, 15 years for chickens.
Oh, wow. So what happened?
But I don't know. I like literally went to go get him in the morning, and he was like stiff in his cage. I guess like I was reading, and he could have got like sick or had little heart issues. So I really don't know.
Okay.
But I just like look at the bright side. You know what I mean? We had a great life, and he had really fun, and he gave my kids a bunch of joy, gave me a bunch of joy. So, I got made a little like a little area where we buried him, and I got a little tombstone made, and when I get back home, we're gonna do it all up for him.
I love it.
It's gonna be awesome.
Man, you have such a great appreciation and perspective on life. And I'm wondering if you were always like this, or do you think that this is something that came later on?
No, I've always been appreciative, man. I've had to work my ass off. My father was a mechanic, and like I grew up working on big rigs and stuff with him my whole life. Grew up on a farm working, and I just knew what it took to like, life's not cheap, you know what I mean? And I seen my dad work his ass off all the time. So I'm just blessed that I get to do what I want for a living, and I get to spend time with my kids, and I don't have to work all the time. You know what I mean? Well, I guess I do, but it's different.
Yeah. It's a different kind of work. Yeah. And
yeah.
You are living the dream in many respects. A lot of people would want to be exactly in your spot, a UFC headliner, one of the top fighters in your weight class. I noticed even on Saturday when you were at the press conference and at the post show, you mentioned your father a lot, who I know is no longer with us. But you even talk about him sharing this barn dream, like you guys wanted to get this together. And so can I just ask, like, A, how long has it been since he passed? And B, what do you think he would say about what you're doing? Because you're so close to realizing this dream.
It's been like 5 years now. So, I mean, it took me a while to get my head straight. But, man, I try to tell my kids about him all the time. Because my daughter, he died right before my daughter was born. But my son got to experience him, and my other kids did too. And they just knew how amazing it was. Man, he showed me what hard work was. He did a lot for me, you know what I mean? So I just want to give that appreciation to him that he deserves. Leave a legacy behind.
Yeah. No, I can't imagine how proud he must be of you, wherever he may be. What do you think he would say about all of this?
I mean, I don't know. He'd probably call me a bitch, to be honest.
What? Why? How can you be a bitch? You just beat up one of the best fighters in the
I
world.
know, but he'd probably say I should have finished him sooner and shit. Like, my dad used to talk hella shit to me. So, like, that's just our relationship. You know what I mean? We used to, like, talk hella shit to each other. But he was the guy that, like, when I'd be fighting someone and beating the fuck out of him, he'd be like, you better quit fucking around and go beat his ass. And I'd be like, all right, hold up. But he was like, yeah, he knew how to hype me up and piss me off. So, just, you know what I mean?
Did he get to go to any of your fights?
Yeah, the last one he actually went to was the Brandon Allen one when I won the title belt, and that like answered a lot of questions for him. If my ground was good, I was just a kickboxer before, and I had shitty grappling, and I ended up like getting head kicked and had to wrestle that whole fight, and I wasn't in shape for it, and I did it, so made it work. You know what I mean? And it was good because that answered a lot of questions for him about like my career going forward.
Mm-hmm.
And it's just all been working out. You know what I mean?
And I know you don't pay attention to names, but in your mind, how far away do you think you are from really being in that title picture?
Man, I don't know. So I think like Duplessis had like 2 big fights or 1 big fight, and then he got a title shot, right?
Yeah.
I think maybe if I have 2 good big fights and 2 more finishes, I think that just really, really cements my name in there. I really don't know. Like I think. I'm not sure where Brandon Allen is, but if I can fight someone ahead of him or fucking just to prove, like give me a hard test and I promise I'll show up and I'll show the fuck out. I'll finish him, whoever it is. And I think that won't deny me, you know what I mean? But I don't know how the matchmaking works. It's up to Dana. I know he's always giving me a test, so hopefully they give me another one and I get to go show what I really can do.
Does any of this feel overwhelming? Like you're making it happen. You're on a winning streak, a 6-fight winning 6-fight winning streak in the UFC. Sorry, something in my throat.
No, you're good. Go ahead and get some water.
I'm getting overwhelmed.
Yeah.
Is it hard to process all this stuff that's happening to you?
Nah, man. I've expected this since I was a kid. Now it's just like I finally got my life straight and it's finally happening. So, I mean, it's just I'm not where I want to be. You know what I mean? So I don't really I'm not all excited about it. It's like cool. I've expected this. Let me get the fucking belt now.
Okay.
Then I'll be happy probably.
Where do you think you're at, like, this time next year?
I think this time next year, I definitely will be the champion. I mean, we're almost at the end of the year, so if I can get 2 fights and get a belt, yeah, no, I think that's doable. It's just if I can't get hurt, you know what I mean? It's all about timing with this shit, and hopefully the timing works out great. I'm not gonna rush it. I'm gonna fight healthy, and I'm gonna just prove it, like show out every time, and I've been doing.
For you, like, when do you think you will have made it? What will be the sign that mission accomplished?
Maybe when I have the belt and then like the project me and my father wanted to do done and my house paid off, then I'll be like, all right, I did some shit. You know what I mean? But until then, I got to work. So I don't know. Maybe after that.
Well, you are working, my man. You're doing a great job. It's really great to see. It's a great story, and I hope that you get that dream. You get to realize that dream that your father and you had, and that 2025 brings a lot of big things your way. So thanks for doing this on a hot day in Las Vegas. And always great to talk to you. Yeah, thank you, Anthony. All the best to you.
You too, man.
All right, talk to you soon. There he is, Anthony Hernandez. A great story and a real great guy, and someone who has turned his life around and is an inspiration. And I love that he always talks about his kids. I love that he always talks about his dreams. I love that he talks about his family. I love that he talks about wanting to realize the dream that he and his father came up with. It's amazing stuff. Our conversation back in February on the show was a real eye opener, and I also like the fact that he doesn't really pay attention. He's like, all right, yeah, give me this guy. If this is the guy that gets me to this fight, then no problems here. 3-time performance of the night bonus winner. 2 of them, by the way, in his last 2 bouts. Like I said, Michel Pereira on Saturday, Roman Kopylov, his previous fight, former LFA middleweight champion, 7-2 in the UFC, and quite the showing on Saturday. A showing that kind of got overlooked because of the big Francis fight, but this is a guy who is very much in the mix, in my opinion, at 185, and also someone who continues to be very fun. He had the stoppage win over Kopylov. He told us that he submitted him in the second round, the rear naked choke. He was seeing Mario Lopez in the front row, and he was reacting to him, which was awesome. He had the TKO win over Edmund Shabazian. He had the submission win over Marc-André Barriot. So he's getting finishes, and of course the one that really put him on the map, in my opinion, was the choke against one Rodolfo Vieira back in February of 2021. I do believe almost everyone on the planet, including those who are a part of this show, had that as the submission of the year. So shout out to him for continuing to make things happen, and currently just 31 years old. So he's got a lot of time on his hands. I'm not sure what happened to my throat there, Frank. That was scary.
Oh, man, I'm really sorry to hear that.
Yeah.
We'll have to get you like a cough button or something.
I got a text from Sean.
During the Merab?
Yes.
What did he say?
I'm not sure. Can I read it? I'm not sure.
Well, I, for one, am glad you mentioned it.
Well, he says Merab's nose makes yours look small.
Oh, my gosh.
Okay,
all right. Maybe you shouldn't read that.
I don't know. I mean, is that... I said thanks?
It's tough.
That is tough. That is tough. I'm not sure. But listen, it seems like he wants to fight him, and it seems like he's down to make it happen in February. He seems like he's down to make it happen in March. Or it could be Umar. If Umar fights Song could screw up all the plans. Fascinating times in the bantamweight division. Some breaking news here. Rick just sent this to me. Samantha Irvin, who is known to be the best PA announcer in the world of wrestling right now, posted this earlier today, just about an hour ago. WWE Universe, my time has come to an end as your Monday Night Raw ring announcer. I love you all tremendously, and this does not mark the end of my art. I have a lifetime more to share. Thank you to every WWE fan who accepted me, to the women's locker room. You are the most incredible group of people on the face of this earth. I'm beyond proud to be your colleague and friend. To the crew and cameramen, I can't thank you enough for the encouragement, the laughs. You created such a wonderful, positive atmosphere for me. Love you all. Is there a next? To the WWE Superstar. Oh, there's a lot of... okay, so I didn't realize there was like multiple slides here. Anyways, it seems like she's gone. Now, she thanks a bunch of people. She thanks Triple H. To my fans, my entire career, I've been waiting for you. We are meant to be, and I can prove it. Stay tuned. All my love, and still, Samantha. Now, interestingly enough, her, I believe, husband or boyfriend, I think it's husband, right? Samantha. Husband, I think they are married. They're engaged. She's engaged to Ricochet, who recently left WWE and signed with AEW, and a lot of people were surprised because of their relationship, and now they're on competing brands. That part is not significant, but they could have traveled together. But once he left, they thought they can't travel. Maybe this means she is headed to AEW because it would be better for her life. I'm assuming most people in the comments are suggesting that. But remember, she had that great moment at WrestleMania when Cody won. And her voice cracked. It was amazing. She's incredible. So there's some breaking news. Earlier today, we got word that NXT will be at the ECW Arena in Philadelphia next week. And I think Halloween Havoc is next week as well. Any big Halloween plans, guys? You guys doing anything over there?
Who, me? Oh, wow. I came in hot there. Trick-or-treating with the kids.
Okay. Any parties?
No.
No parties. Getting dressed up, though. We got a Boys in the Back episode.
We got a Boys
Halloween.
in the Back
on Halloween. That's right. October 31st.
Yeah, man. Do you want to come?
Come on in. Get dressed up.
So it's funny. Frank says this almost like I don't come. Like I was there on Thursday.
No, I'm inviting you to the
No,
Halloween
you make
show.
it sound
That was
like
the first one, man. That was the end.
So we'll see you there
We're
then.
keeping tabs for the future episodes.
Stuff.
No. I've been like it's been very clear to me like we don't need you here. We don't want you here. So I could take a hint.
This is you're spinning this really nicely. We've been like, we'd love to have you for every episode.
Oh yeah.
I can't be bothered. You know, it's a
Yeah,
long
that's
commute
so-
in.
people are like,
Got
oh.
things to do.
Yeah. What are you guys gonna dress up as?
Ah, come on, man. You really think we're gonna reveal that before?
Is it gonna be? There's nothing I enjoyed more as a kid. You go trick or treating, you come home, and there's like a Simpsons Halloween special, like the
Treehouse of Horror.
Yeah, like
Yeah.
the but you know like the themed episodes, the specials. Are we gonna get like a themed episode? I mean, I feel like everything needs to be in the Halloween spirit.
I mean, there'll be decorations and whatnot. I don't know if like the whole thing is.
Come
gonna
on.
be themed.
We've gone
What do you mean?
from,
Come on. How
are we going
themed
to-
are we supposed to make it?
I don't know.
What
Top
do you
10
mean themed?
scariest fighters. Top 10
Oh,
scariest. Oh, sorry. Okay, so there.
We do have plans. We do have plans.
There it is.
I'm actually kind of pissed you just brought that up.
That's the theme I'm talking about.
Me and Frank and Rick have been in our group chat.
Oh, what? You guys have a separate group chat?
Boys in the
you
back.
don't need
group
to let
chat,
them know
of
about
course.
that one.
Wow. That's kind of. Now I'm actually pissed. I don't have any.
given you an
separate group
invitation.
chat. I don't have any separate.
Can I just say what a window into your soul it is to say the thing you were most excited about for Halloween was coming home to a Simpsons episode? Like, not the candy, not the seeing
Well,
your
the
friends
thing
trick or
is,
treating.
unless I'm mistaken, Ariel, when you get home, you dump all the candy
Oh, yeah.
and start going through it while the themed episode is on. There's still the last minute trick or treaters coming through to your house. It's great times. You and your siblings. It's love Halloween. Love Halloween.
We used to read. What is it? Halloween. Yes, here it is. Have you guys ever read the book Harriet's Halloween Candy?
No.
Never even heard of it.
Oh, you should read.
Sounds like a classic.
Rick, in particular, you should read it to your kids because it's about a dog named Harriet who goes trick or treating and then spends all of her time organizing her candy. And so and interestingly enough, and this was before our second son was born, her brother's name is Walter. And so she gives Walter all the bad candy, but she continues to organize. But as she's organizing, she's constantly eating it and she gets sick. And so when my son, when my son was younger, we always used to say like, are you organizing? So he would like lay it all out and he'd put, all the Reese's together. He'd put all the other ones together. You know what I mean? Like organizing. That wasn't really a thing. But
Was
what
it a
you're
cautionary
explaining.
tale?
No. It's just when you said like lay all the candy out, it reminded me of organizing the candy, and it reminded me there's got to be someone out there who has read
I
Harriet's
organize
Halloween
by
candy to their
sour,
kids.
sweet, chocolate.
What is this organizing? Yeah, I'm gonna
I
get.
just rip. I just dig through it till I find what I want.
Agreed. I'm gonna get that book for the kids, but the organizing candy that happens is I organize it into my mouth while the kids go shower,
Real
then when they
question.
come back, they've got less.
Yeah, you're the thief. I used to always get so mad at my parents when they would steal the good candy from me.
Do you make a menu for yourself? Like I want to.
Why do you sound so echoey, Frank?
There's a speaker right in front of me
What does that mean?
that it's echoing back into the microphone.
Oh, okay. Maybe we could turn it off, or
I was asked to turn it up earlier.
well, now it sounds echoey.
Is this better? How are we doing?
We had a good show.
Yeah, no, it was a good
Great.
show. It was
Do
a
you
good
make
show.
a menu for yourself?
Oh,
when
now
you-
it sounds better.
Oh my god.
What?
A
Do you
menu
make a
of what?
menu like, hey, when I eat this candy in this sitting, I want to start with something sweet, then I want to go to like, chocolate, then I want to end with something sour.
Are you asking this because you do that?
Maybe.
I do not.
It's
No.
a bit OCD.
Nah, yeah, a bit of. How are the Jackman and Helwani households in terms of the candy that they give out? Are we talking,
Oh, yeah.
Not full size. I'm
bars?
not a full size.
Okay.
Oh,
Respect.
by the way,
I'm not there yet.
I went on a rant about this last year, excuse me, about the badge of honor that it is to
Pretentiousness.
Oh, come on,
Yeah.
everyone always. You cannot be a full-size candy giver without announcing to the world that you're a full-size
course,
candy.
yeah.
Okay, but can I say, I appreciate the full size candy givers. They make all of us, they elevate all of us, and I am appreciative of them. I am not one yet. I've not reached that level.
Why does it have to be announced to the world?
It's like, you're
Because-
vegan, you're this, like, you just have to know. People have to know
the
that
kids
that's
are
their
talking
identity.
about it, so you might as well talk about it too.
Listen, I'm not impressed, okay? We can all afford a little extra candy
All right,
bar.
so why don't you do it then, man?
Because it's easier to go to freaking CVS. By the way,
there you go.
By the way,
not putting in the effort. It's not about the cost. It's about the effort, man.
By the way, correct me if I'm wrong. You can't even. Where do you even get the full bag of full size candy bars? When I go to
it's
CVS,
not that. You get a box. You can't.
Yeah.
You can't
where do you even
a-
get said box? When I go to CVS,
Costco has those, but again, you're gonna have to buy 6, 10 boxes like that. You're gonna have to lug them home.
I don't
It's
even
not
know
the
where
same.
there's a Costco next to me. I go to CVS. I go to Amazon.
I salute them.
BJ's?
I buy some things.
I
and then-
salute,
I
I
absolutely
salute the
salute them.
full size candy.
I feel like we discussed this as well. The people that give out 2 liters, that's just a
What?
insane
That's a
move.
thing?
Oh yeah.
What are
Wait,
they, the
what's-
What
what's
kid
this?
is lugging
like-
that around?
Wait, 2 liters of
Soda.
what? I've
Yeah.
never heard of this.
Oh,
The dentists do that because then they're like, all right,
Like
I'll see you in
popular
a week.
TikToks and stuff where they're just like, every year we give out 2 liters, and they have like a house full of 2 liters, and they give
That's
them out to
ridiculous.
kids.
I would be annoyed if someone.
I
gave
wouldn't
my
take it. I wouldn't take
Yeah,
it.
no thanks.
I don't need.
I'd probably
2-liter
guzzle
room
it and
temperature.
then jump to the next. one.
Honestly,
Stick
if I was a
Mentos in
kid,
it and
yeah, I
aim
would
it at
probably
their
take a
house.
massive gulp and then throw the thing.
I think that's the move.
Funny you mentioned Treehouse of Horrors. I've actually been going through watching like every year's Disney Plus has The Simpsons.
Oh yeah.
I've been watching all the Treehouse.
Do they hold up?
Oh, they're amazing.
Which is the best?
Man, I don't know. I watched one that was
Amityville
pretty
one?
good from like 1996. And like they cover like the election and all like the current things from 1996. It's
I feel like the
one
older
with the
ones are
house.
better than the more recent ones.
Yeah, no
Frank,
doubt. I think
Frank, I don't hear a word you're saying. By the way, like you're just like someone like literally hundreds of yards away from me. That I hear.
he's
keep
actually
talking-
standing out in the hallway
I'm
trying to
screaming.
scream into his microphone.
like even now. I don't hear anything that you're saying. I don't know why you're so low.
Yeah, I don't know either.
And that sounded better.
Okay.
What did you want to say? Because you said I heard.
mean-
Go ahead. Speaking of which, go ahead.
No, go ahead.
No.
The floor is yours. The one with Amityville, the one that's based in like basically Rick's abode. It like has to decide at the end like, do I live with the Simpsons
Oh,
forever?
yeah, no,
and
that's
then
good.
it implodes.
Yeah,
that was worth it. The weight on that.
no, that was
definitely
good
worth
stuff.
It. That was good.
Yeah, no, I was looking up because isn't it Forrest is playing right now? Do we
Oh,
have all the
sure.
graphics, or we didn't get to
That was
those?
a no-go.
Mm.
No-go. We actually assigned Jordan to that, but unfortunately,
Not here. That's good.
No
Ooh,
problem,
Jordan.
mate, yeah.
Unable to make it.
Yeah. Okay. Currently tied. Second half has commenced. 0-0 against Crystal Palace. Back home at the City Ground, we have to make it a fortress again. That was, last year, as you recall. You're a little bit off because I see the group text has quieted down. It's basically just me and Jake on the group text at this point, right?
I've been busy lately, man. Yeah.
The output is similar to Frank's on the group text. Like I'll be like, "Yeah, did you guys see that?" and I'll get nothing back.
Yeah.
I've started to think about starting my own group text. Just me and Rick just talking about.
Oh wait, now I'm in
You
the
and
forest
Rick for
group
Forest?
text. Oh no,
I just need
This
someone
is-
to talk
this is a
to.
disaster.
What happened to Jake? You were just saying you were happy to have Jake.
No, I mean I'm happy to have him. It's like 1 every 10 texts.
What about your kids?
So my kids are into it. Actually,
don't have
yesterday
phones.
we were at a bagel shop yesterday in the midst of. My kids had 6 soccer games Saturday and Sunday. They were part of a soccer tournament, and our final record was 1 win, 1 draw, 4 losses.
All right.
All right, successful.
They found the back of the net at all?
Total goals scored in these 6 games by the teams. Kids did not score. 3 goals. 1 game had 2 goals. 1 had 1. The final one yesterday. Tough sledding. My middle son's team is the best one. I hope no one's listening. And they were not. It was the top and bottom. So it was tough. But it was very fun. I loved every second of it. And in the middle of one of the games, we went to a bagel place to get food, and there was an older gentleman there wearing a Forest hat.
Whoa.
And so I went up to him and said, "Nottingham Forest, are you a fan?" I was wearing my Forest pants. And he said, "Yes. Actually, I'm from Nottingham." I was like, "What the hell are you doing here?" He was probably 75.
Yeah.
And then he's telling me about he was there for the 2 European Championship wins, 79-80. We're talking about Brian Clough. We're talking about the City Ground. We're talking about Nuno. We're talking about Steve Cooper. We're talking about Brennan Johnson and his father, David Johnson. I was having a blast. And then I was this close to being like, you should come over and we should watch an upcoming game.
Didn't?
I was just gonna say you sounds like you found your group text guy.
Yeah, why didn't
Well, that's why I
what
bring
took
this
you
up.
off the ledge?
Well, because I was like, where do you watch? And he's like, where do you watch?
And where did he watch?
He
At
says
home?
he watches at home. I say I watch at home. We talked about Crystal Palace, da-da-da. The one thing was he was a little bit older, and he was eating a bagel, and it was a lot of food coming out as he was talking.
Oh, he was just spraying.
So, did you start to back away?
New plan.
My son was like, "That was disgusting. Did you see how much food was coming out?"
Oh, it was that bad?
Yes, it was bad. I was like, "Wow, I was actually going to invite him." No, you can't invite him over. I was like, "All right, fine. You
just meet him at the bagel shop.
This poor old man was speaking with such passion about Nottingham Forest.
He was probably delighted that someone reacted to his hat.
And now here you are shaming
destroying him.
He probably has a condition where he has to spray his food everywhere.
It was a lot of
Maybe
sesame
you just
seed.
hit 75 and you stopped caring.
Listen, the guy was...
I hit 35 and stopped caring.
Listen, the guy was at a bagel shop at 10:30 in the morning, loving life, by himself on a Sunday. God bless him. That's what I say.
Respect, man.
Yeah.
Respect.
I don't have... I'm starting to see a lot of messed up things in like, I see people dying on the everything bagel hill. I see people dying on this, like...
What's the hill? What is the debate on that one?
The onion
everything?
Bagel? Gosh.
I enjoy all
bagel,
these things.
100%.
What is the debate on the everything? That it's just the best
It's just
one?
too much. It's too much.
Oh, that it's too
you
much.
say it's too much? I love everything.
No. It's sesame or plain.
What? Sesame.
It's whatever the bagel shop offers.
This is a horrendous
Okay,
thing. Sesame is
so,
one of the worst.
So the Knicks
Egg.
did this. The Knicks
Egg
did
is
this
the
on
number
Media Day. They asked everyone what their bagel order is, their New York bagel order. What's yours?
Egg with cream cheese, untoasted. Done.
Wait.
Egg bagel?
Egg bagel with
plain cream cheese?
untoasted.
Okay. First of all, you said I thought you meant like fried egg and cream cheese.
No.
Wow.
Okay.
Egg bagel, untoasted.
Why does it have to be egg?
Are you?
What?
How do you
'Cause
get
egg
ask
is
the
the
guy
best
his
bagel.
preference? And
Have you ever had an egg everything?
I have. No problem with it.
I really
but,
enjoy it.
But plain egg is better. Regular egg is better.
Ariel, were you about to shame a fried egg and cream cheese?
I've never heard of such a thing. Is that even real?
Okay, so something I will do is everything bagel with egg and bacon, cream cheese on the side because you can't put it on because the warm egg and
Yeah,
everything
you don't
will
want
melt the cream
goopy.
cheese. But bite by bite, you spread a little cream cheese on it.
That's
It's
not bad.
fantastic. So like
That's
instead
smart.
of cheddar cheese, you rip the cream cheese. I'm a scallion cream cheese guy, so
shout out.
it's great stuff, man.
Wow, this is crazy. So what's your order? Is that your go-to?
That's my go-to. Or if I'm just getting the bagel and cream cheese, it's everything with scallion.
With scallion cream cheese.
Scallion cream cheese, yeah, that's my top tier cream cheese.
Oh, no, but is that your like if you're going to a bagel shop, you can order anything you want.
Then I'm getting the everything, egg and bacon, scallion cream cheese on the side that I'm going to spread on.
Wow. I'm not.
And then I'm actually a 2 bagel guy. I'm going to go sandwich one, and then I'm also going to get a dessert bagel. So like if they've got like a cinnamon raisin with like a strawberry cream cheese, something like that.
French toast? You ever have French toast?
Oh, French toast bagel, fantastic. Like maybe a chocolate chip cream cheese if this place is really deluxe.
So you're going to have 2 bagels in one sitting.
So I'm usually a guy that's going to go full savory bagel, knock that out of the park, and then I'm still hungry, but now I'm kind of getting that sweet tooth coming at me. I'll go half of the dessert bagel, save the rest for later. It's going to hit perfectly if I'm doing this around like 10 a.m. or something.
Wait a second.
I'm with
It's
you.
going to hit perfect around 2 p.m.
I'm with you, but where you messed up is you combine too many flavors, right? If you're doing the French toast bagel, you don't get the strawberry cream cheese because now you're just like mixing.
Okay, I'm actually with you on that. If I'm
Flavor
going French
one or
toast-
the other.
No.
Flavor
All
one or
right.
the other.
You shat on me for having an order of which to eat candy, but like having an order of which you eat your bagels is like that's okay.
Order? He's just 2 bagels. He's
Frank,
eating
this
one
is-
first.
This is like,
Talk
this is
one
like-
before
it's
the
like-
other.
it's like dinner and dessert, man. You're talking
it's
about
not.
you're going to write
It's
your
bagels.
You're going to write up your own menu on whether or not you're going to have
Yeah, then
sour
you ask the waiter,
candy or
like, "Can you
chocolate
please
candy?"
get me another bagel.
You tried, Frank.
Please
You tried.
stop, man. What am I going to do? Sit down?
All right,
I'll
Ariel,
take my
what's your
creme brulee
order?
before my steak.
What's
I
your
want to know Frank's.
Mine is a plain bagel, lightly toasted, light cream cheese.
Boring.
All right, so
By the way,
let's ask
you
everyone
actually
their
go,
opinion.
by the way, you actually go to the bagel shop and say lightly toasted? Like, how annoying is that?
Actually, no. I was ordering bagels the other day, and I was like, "Does anyone want anything?" And Frank was just like, "Yeah, I'll take a plain bagel with plain cream cheese, lightly toasted. And could you scoop it out on each side?"
no,
did
not.
Just kidding.
Okay.
I was just going to say there is nothing worse than the
scoop.
scoopers.
Don't eat the bagel if you're going to do the
fuck
scoop.
off with your
But this guy Frank, we could walk to the grocery store, get him a Thomas plain, throw some Philly cream cheese on there, hand it to him, and he'd be like, "This is the best bagel I've ever had."
I'm not rich enough for it, but you know, number one order is plain lox plain cream cheese. That's the classic.
rich?
That's the number one. The lox is at this point is
You're talking
$30.
Yeah, you're talking
$30 a
17,
bagel.
18 a cent.
Yeah,
You're getting a lot.
that is top notch.
But
Lox is fantastic. I'm with you.
just bagel, no lox. We're doing egg bagel cream cheese. That's it.
Is lox a New York thing? Because I was I always have lox cream cheese bagel when I break my Yom Kippur fast, and I was PT was asking me what I was going to eat, and I told him that, and he said he's never heard of the term lox outside of New York.
Yeah, I was going to ask.
Maybe they just call it
Is there a
smoked salmon
difference?
elsewhere, but
That's what I mean. Is lox as a term?
No, I've seen it nationwide.
Yeah, I was going to say they called it lox in Georgia.
All right. My go-to, and by the way, you guys have been to Montreal or haven't?
I have, yeah.
I've had a Montreal bagel. I've not been to Montreal.
You agree it's infinitely better, right?
No, New York bagels are the
That's
best.
so crazy.
Not even
so crazy.
in the same stratosphere.
GC, you ever have a Montreal bagel?
I have, and I've been to Montreal. I hate to say this as much as I love food. Bagels are kind of ones or zeros for me. It's either good or it's not good. I can't like.
You don't have the palate.
That's fine.
Try it lightly toasted.
That's fine. I get that. But they're not close.
Egg and turkey. Egg and turkey. If I'm feeling crazy, egg, cheese, turkey, but I try not to mix the meat and
what's
the dairy.
the bagel?
Plain or sesame? Sesame is the go-to.
Sesame with like deli turkey on it.
Yeah.
Egg. No cream cheese.
Yeah, you're not doing a cream cheese.
No
you're doing
butter.
a sandwich.
Nothing to moisten that bad boy up.
No, man.
Wow.
This is
what kind of cheese?
It actually used to be American. It used to be my thing at the airport when I would always take like the 6 a.m. flight to Vegas or whatever flight I was going to. That was the routine. I would wear the same thing and I would get an egg, turkey, cheese bagel. It would hold me over for the whole flight. But, now that I'm getting older, I feel like I can't do it. So I'm ashamed to say, like when I went to get my son, his order, we call it a Saturday special, even if it's Sunday. It's egg, turkey, bacon, cheese. That's his favorite.
Respect.
So I feel like you guys are using the bagel, which I find like it holds a special place in my heart. Like it's
Yeah. I mean, I'm from Montreal. It's way more.
No, it's not. New York bagels are better.
Literally, there's a Nike shoe made for Montreal bagels. You realize?
I know, but
this,
New
right?
York bagels are better.
Okay.
So you are using it as a substitute for a sandwich bread. That isn't
That's
like,
what we like.
bagel
Breakfast
cream
sandwich.
cheese is
Sacrilege.
bagel
Yeah,
cream
of course,
cheese
we
is
have bagel and cream cheese up the wazoo. I make it 4 times a week for lunch for my kids.
This has got
but
to be
but
the
when
order.
you go to a place at 10 o'clock in the morning, you want something that's going to hit. You get the egg, you get the turkey. But here's what I want to tell you guys. Because I'm getting older, and because I feel like things aren't sitting as well, I'm ashamed to say that I get a whole wheat wrap, egg and turkey.
Yeah,
well, this is what you're doing. You're just getting a sandwich. You might as well just make it a sandwich.
No, I love bagels. I'm obsessed with bagels.
A wrap, huh?
Clearly not.
I used to be. By the way, like UGC, when I was in my young 30s, I used to have 2. I used to have legit 2 bagels.
Oh, it's great. It's great.
What was the cutoff?
Feels like it's got to be a weekend morning as well.
When did you have to stop eating bagels
Probably
and
like
move over to the wrap? Was it yesterday?
You're making me nervous.
41.
40.
Oh man.
Yeah.
All right, you're making me nervous. 10 years from now, I'm not going to be able to eat.
Nah,
bagels.
we're going to keep.
Can we go back to the barometer of whether Montreal or New York bagels are better? Is the fact that one has a Nike shoe name?
Yeah, that's it. I mean,
that's it.
What's it?
That's the inconclusive.
It's the water. The New York
By the way,
boiled
if you need
bagel.
a deciding factor, what better deciding factor than that?
I don't know. Maybe taste.
Yeah.
Nah.
Yeah, you would say that.
By the way, Nike isn't going to immortalize a bagel that is substandard with a shoe. They could have easily made a New York bagel. New York bagels, H&H,
New York has
Kramer,
1,000 different ways.
Seinfeld.
Bagel is not even. We just have too much
Antoine,
good
put it on the poll. Better bagel, Montreal, New York. Let's settle this once and for all. How about that?
It's not even. Not worth it.
There's a poll up right now that just says cream cheese ? Yes, yuck.
What?
Yes.
That's a horrible poll.
Stop.
If there's a yuck for cream cheese,
if you're not eating cream cheese, then you're not eating bagels.
Get them out. Get them out if they do that.
72% say, or 73 say yes, and 28 say yuck.
Weirdos, 28.
Yuck. Really? It's because they had no other option. They could just.
Is that possible?
Who doesn't like cream cheese?
It's so good.
Declare yourself.
You ever have cream cheese with olives?
No.
I've not, but I wouldn't be opposed.
You ever have cream cheese with the salmon in it?
Yeah, like the bits.
Yeah.
Ah,
so
Have you ever put cream cheese on your pizza crust?
You think it's like, but it's not. It's
I'm
not
so hungry right now.
You need the box.
I would have responded to what you said, Frank, but on a scale of 1 to 10 in terms of audible decibels, you are negative 14.
Look, I am not putting myself as the priority on the.
It's literally like to me.
There's 4 microphones going on at once.
You sound like maybe wait then. Or
There is wait.
Like not have side conversations on the show. Maybe that's
like a subway conductor.
I'm gonna put mine as the priority now.
Loving it.
I heard something like priority, but I couldn't hear the rest.
Stop it.
Okay, go.
Cream cheese on your pizza crust. Yay or nay?
I think you said cream cheese.
Oh,
No, I'm kidding.
You know what?
We're putting it in
That's
after, right? The pizza has been
after.
eaten, and then you dip it.
You have the crust. You're like,
I'm not opposed. It's just bread and cream cheese, but I don't like. I wouldn't.
Oh, as opposed to bagels and cream cheese. You're right. Yeah.
I just
vast
said
difference.
I'm not opposed because that's what it is. But like, why? Why am I?
I don't know. It was
introducing
just something
cream
I did
cheese
as
to
a
my
kid.
pizza?
I was just curious, but
Where do you guys fall on the whipped versus normal?
whipped.
Nah,
Nah,
not a
no
fan.
whipped.
I'll whip it
I
myself
like,
if
I,
I have
like,
to.
I like a whipped every once in a while. Throw in a wild card. Get it whipped. It's not bad.
Not a
We're
fan.
soft. If you're soft, if you eat soft cream cheese.
How do you feel about
Put that knife in there.
another one that I hate? Ranch with the pizza.
Oh,
All
crush.
right, you know what?
Yeah.
I'm not a ranch guy in general, so I can't comment.
Ever since I moved to the Northeast, I've been shamed for that.
No, man. I'll do it with you.
Yeah.
What is it with the crust?
It's a no. Well, it's a whole
Any
thing.
piece of it.
Yeah.
Just dunk it. It's great.
That seems weird to me.
Well, you
Not
know,
a
you didn't
ranch
grow up
guy.
in the South. It's fine.
Yeah.
Is that a South thing?
Yeah.
I guess it's a Southern thing because I did it. Frank did it.
Connor's the only other person I know who does it, and he's from the South. as
No,
well.
I've seen people do that. I think it's weird.
I said it was the only. other
I'll
person.
do pineapple on pizza and dip it in ranch and
pineapple and jalapeno.
New Yorkers absolutely
Pineapple on
despise
pizza is
that.
fantastic. I've told you my go-to: pineapple and green olives.
Shout out.
The best.
Great,
Sweet.
I still haven't tried it.
Sweet. Get the cheese.
Tough to get. You can't get good green olives on pizza here in America. I've not gotten it once. Only in Montreal. There's a particular. If you're out there in Montreal watching right now, go to the Domino's Pizza on DeCarry, and actually on Côte Saint Luc Road, they have the best.
Domino's.
Yeah, I feel it right here. I feel it in my
Domino's?
throat. Yes.
That is the place.
But-
I
by
thought
the
we were
way,
gonna get like a
This is the Montreal Bagels is better guy from the palate that brought you
Domino's Pizza in Montreal is exponentially better than Domino's Pizza in America. I don't know what it is. I taste it right here.
You grew up eating this?
Every Sunday night. That
There's
was the
the
tradition.
There's
every
the
Sunday.
you have like an immense amount of nostalgia.
You can stop the poll
Sunday.
now. New York Bagels have
This
won
is-
just
this
on the
is
basis
crazy.
of
I
this.
feel it right
I
here.
feel
I
the
feel it.
$3 from the fast food chain in my
Cut that
throat. Stop.
I feel it.
Stop.
I feel
I thought
it.
you were about to be like, Mike's in Montreal. It's the
No.
best green olives. You get some shipped directly from Italy.
IYKYK.
Yeah.
Wow.
Domino's
I'm
pizza.
happy
We
with
all
that.
know. If you know, you know. We all know. We
We've
grew
all
up
had
eating
it.
Domino's.
We've all had it.
We've all probably gotten sick at some
No,
point with Domino's.
never.
No, not to our friends at Domino's.
True or false before we go? Francis Ngannou's next fight will be in MMA. Rick?
False.
True.
Wow, I say true.
Well, he was
Against
talking.
who?
That's the one I
Yeah,
think is
not true.
The winner
because
of
there's nobody to fight.
the winner of Goltsov Odek.
Christ, if we really do that.
Odek. I think it's
Popov.
Popov.
Odek Popov, isn't that?
Oh yeah, sure.
Who wants this?
Did we
Francis
just? I
Ngannou?
feel like we kind of just made
The Rico fight.
I feel like we kind of did
I'm
something.
down for Rico. How
That
would
is
happen?
more intriguing to me, but that would take place in a boxing ring.
Battle of the Giants too.
Hell yeah. I mean, that's a spectacle. Do that in a 40,000 seat.
The problem with
Netherlands
the Rico
stadium.
I was going to
thing-
say Netherlands or Africa.
Yeah.
is
I
where
was
that has
literally
to
going to
take place.
say the best place for that fight is on Rico's home
Yeah.
soil.
Just a
unfortunately.
better crowd than Saturday. We need a bigger pop for Frank.
Yeah, it was a little bit.
Netherlands would go nuts for that. Like that is where to do it, but then it's not Francis's fight, right? Then it's Rico's fight.
True or false? Merab's next fight will be against Sean O'Malley. Rick?
True.
Yeah, I'm starting to think true too.
Wow, that's crazy. What a
Seems
Hey.
like the UFC wants it. It seems like they want it. Why not?
that is wild. True or false? Brendan Shaw versus Nate Diaz will happen at the next CJI.
I would watch it.
I would
I'd
watch
watch
it too.
Brendan Schaub famous the shutdown the shutdown in Metamoris, so it wouldn't be the first grappling competition for him.
Oh yeah, I remember that.
The Schaub shutdown. What was it called again? I forget. There was a
forget.
term for it. The Big Brown shutdown or something like that. But
That would be.
I would watch the
wild.
hell out of that.
I don't know if they could afford them. Well, maybe they can.
They had money.
Yeah.
That was the whole thing. Craig was trying to,
They got
get
the
athlete
Escobars
purses
in
up.
now.
That's true. That's
Well,
a good
yeah,
point.
that's true.
Sister. True or false? Paul Hughes' next fight will be against Usman Nurmagomedov.
I'm going to say true.
I think you have to do it.
PFL got something here.
Yeah, where else do you
Capitalize.
go after you beat AJ? You kind of
Problem is this is the problem that they face. You will get some big fights and then you'll have this tournament and it's hard to mesh the two. Now, last year they did a February show in Riyadh, if you recall. I believe I heard, was it Don? It might have been Don when he was here at Yahoo Finance a couple weeks ago. He referenced it again. Do they do it on that card and then have him fight in the tournament 2 months later? It might be a lot to ask of young Paul Hughes.
If he's willing, yes, you do that.
But you are right. The crowd needs to be a little bit better, and I don't know how they get around that.
I was okay with the crowd. I know. Look, it's not great. I'm not even going to go down this road. I do this with the Apex. I'm the sympathizer when it comes to this stuff. I'm not going to go there.
Apex isn't designed to have a crowd, though. This show was, and it was lackluster.
Yeah. You know it wasn't?
What?
Helwani Vision.
That was popping.
What about Jake Paul and I reacting to the win? Do we have that?
We do.
We have that clip. I was going to play it for Francis, but he said he saw it, so I didn't have to. Here's Jake Paul and I reacting to Francis Ngannou's tremendous win back on Saturday. It was dramatic. It was hyped. It was fantastic. It was incredible theater. It was absolutely energetic. It was electric. Here it is. He's back. Y'all must have forgot. Francis is fucking back, Jake. He's back. What do they say now about him? The lineal heavyweight champion of the world, the baddest man on the planet. What do they say now about him, Jake? Yeah, you know yourself. What are you guys talking about?
Why? What do you mean?
Why are
you breaking the fourth wall?
No, you were literally talking.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry.
I almost had to.
We were talking about your foul language
fuck
there.
is we?
Oh.
Come on. You know?
Keep
it PG, bro.
Did the zone get mad at us?
No, we didn't hear
Put
from
the card up, yeah.
We were talking about this because obviously we know like the pardon our language on the zone, but on pay-per-view does that apply?
Listen, unless someone told me otherwise, I figured pay-per-view, all's fair in love and war.
We don't know, but
I think because it was pay-per-view, you were fine.
When they do that, it's because it's on YouTube or their fast channel, but this is pay-per-view. And I guess we'll find out if it wasn't fine. Listen, I was hyped, okay? There was emotion, all right?
Helwani Vision was a lot of fun if you haven't seen it.
Yeah, it was fun. It was fun. Can you get it right now? Actually, you know what? It'll be up on our YouTube channel in a few days.
Oh, look at that.
Yeah, how about that? And how about the fact that we're back tomorrow? Should we tell them who's on the show tomorrow?
Please.
We got a great show lined up for you.
Are you going to give it
tomorrow.
all away?
Yeah, isn't
Maybe
there
give
like
them
a superstition behind
Have
this?
I haven't heard a single one of these guys.
Well, you're not in the proper chat because I feel like I shared it, but maybe not.
Proper chat? Is it called the proper chat?
This man is going to join us.
So many chats.
Yeah, there are a lot of chats. This guy, does the IFB work, Frank? I don't know. But we are going to be joined by the man known as Hangman. Yeah.
That battery died.
Oh, great. Wonderful. All right. Well, I was going to just stand here, but let me go back to the microphone. Here I come. Oh, look at this beautiful studio. Hangman. Yeah. Dan Hooker going to join us, among others. That will be tomorrow on the program. Again, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. Boys in the Back on Thursday. Crack on Friday. Watch party on Saturday for 308. And we'll have one of the fighters competing at UFC 308 on the show tomorrow. And then, of course, post-show on Saturday as well. Hey, did I say watch party Friday? I meant watch party Saturday. Do me a favor. If you're watching this right now, give me a thumbs up in the chat. But more importantly, hit that subscribe button. Hit that bell. Hit that like. We're supposed to get one of those fancy, like, click subscribe thingies. Remember that?
Efforting,
okay. We'll get it. Jordan's probably working on it.
Circle back.
All right. Well, thank you. And and if you're listening to us on the pod feed, hit the follow, hit the like, hit the comment, hit the 5-star, hit the sub. Appreciate y'all. We're out of time. Time to go home. It's been a fun day, a jam-packed day. Yeah. It's weird because it's like it's all the bells and whistles. It's all the bells and whistles, but it's like we're in a different place.
There's a bird that just flew behind you.
You saw that, right?
That
I've
was
actually
awesome.
seen several birds today. It's great. It's good stuff. It's,
Maybe we should not have the windows so clean.
Yeah, very, very supportive of the window argument.
Hell yeah.
It's hot in the streets. Is that a real window or not?
Thank you very much to everyone who sent in super chats. Matthew Helms lets us know that King McGregor, or actually he called me King, or maybe it was Francis, McGregor lost $500,000 betting on Renan Ferreira. Swiss Cheese says, Ariel, stop digging Ngannou a bigger hole, spelled hole wrong. You helped put him in this position with no one to fight, get beat up by pro boxers or beat up bumps in PFL. Oh yeah, you sound very smart. And that's it. We are done. We'll get to all of these super chats on Wednesday when we do On the Nose, but you can keep them coming. And I do love the polls. If the Ariel show had a swear jar, who would pay the most? Ariel, Rick, GC, Frank. 62% of you fuckers say me.
If we're talking on air, yeah, it's definitely him.
Oh, yeah. But off air, would you say it's Frank? Andy?
I'd say
It's definitely
between-
Andy.
Probably between me and Ray.
Hey. Thank you very much to all our guests. Francis Ngannou, Merab Dvalishvili, Paul Hughes, Craig Jones, Anthony Hernandez, all of you, all of them. Back tomorrow, same time and place. Peace.